Hello and welcome to an overcast Kia Oval for another round of the Vitality Blast. Surrey are the home team. They'll be taking on Essex. Surrey have won the toss and elected to field. But before we give you the build-up to the rest of the game, Sam Keir spoke to Laura Harris ahead of today's play.
Oh, my great pleasure ahead of our 2 o'clock start to chat to Australian overseas player Laura Harris. Laura, thanks for joining us. How are you finding your time at Surrey?
Yeah, it's been great so far. Love coming here every year. Grace last year obviously only had good things to say, so it's a no-brainer.
Were her opinions and experiences a big factor in you deciding to follow in her footsteps?
Yeah, they definitely played a part. I think, you know, we play that exciting brand of cricket that is pushing the women's game forward.
Obviously, you've played in the Blast before last year with Warwickshire. How does the Blast compare to all the other tournaments you've played in BBL, Super Smash, CPL, WPL, all those things?
Oh, look, I think it's a great platform. You know, obviously, missing all the international players at the minute, there's a slight bit of experience change, I guess. But in terms of what the comp's doing for women's cricket, it's definitely up there.
And the depth of quality, particularly with the young players. Obviously, you've got plenty here at Surrey, but generally across the tournament, impressed with the depth of talent that's coming through?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've said for a little while now, England will push Oz over the next couple of years just purely because of how much cricket they play. And, yeah, just the standard that keeps getting better and better. You've
had plenty of starts so far in this tournament. I think double figures in 4 out of the 5 innings. Haven't quite kicked onto one of those explosive Laura Harris classics. How do you feel your batting is? Where are you with your own game?
Yeah, somewhat, probably a little bit frustrated at times at, as you say, getting starts and not being able to go on with it. But, you know, feeling good, seeing the ball all right on the most part, so hopefully today's the day.
Let's hope so. Finally, obviously losing finalists with Warwickshire last year, how much would it mean to you to be here on July the 17th, helping Surrey defend their title and lifting the trophy yourself?
Yeah, look, I'd never say no to a trophy lift. So, yeah, fingers crossed we play a bit of decent cricket in the lead-up and get back there.
Thank you very much for your time, Laura.
Sam Keir with Laura Harris there. And Surrey unchanged for yet another match in this competition. Their hosts, Essex, well, they'll be led by Grace Scrivens. Also want you to keep an eye out for Sophie Munro with the ball. And Jodie Grucock will be batting for, bowling some leg spin. She made her debut for England. Surrey, as mentioned before the interview, won the toss and elected to bowl. I'm Cameron Ponsonby. I'm joined by the great Georgie Heath and also the great Mark Church. I'm surrounded by legends.
Oh, what an introduction. I'll take that. Surrounded by excellence. We'll go with that one.
That's the one I think I meant.
Yeah, well, that's all right. That's all right. I was just anointing myself as excellent now.
Absolutely.
But, well, we did see some excellent work in the last game. Surrey falling to their first defeat thanks to Sophie Luff, who had an absolute belter with the bat in hand. So looking to bounce back now, the defending champions, after I remove that frog from my throat. Yeah, it was just frog for lunch, apparently. Trip to France. Anyway, moving on. So they'll be looking to come back after that loss to Somerset just the other day. Sophie Luff looking really good for her career best 82 or 53 here in Surrey's backyard. So wanted to come back fighting.
I didn't think Surrey did much wrong, actually, in that game against Somerset. And I don't think they need to really change anything they did in that game. I think Sophie Luff just had a brilliant afternoon with the bat. So I think Surrey will go about things in exactly the same manner as we've seen them doing so far in the competition.
Well, it was very, very reassuring hearing Sophie Luff speak after the day's play, because often we anoint things in the commentary box as one of the best you'll see, or the best ever. And then Sophie Luff afterwards said, categorically, that is the best I've ever played.
Did she really? Yeah.
So it was her best ever T20 innings, and it inspired her side to a victory. We've got an almost top of the table clash here today. Surrey are top of the pile so far, with 3 wins, a tie and 1 loss from their 5 matches. Essex in 3rd place with 3 wins from their 4 games. So they're just 1 game. They've got a game in hand on Surrey, and if they win today, they will leapfrog the hosts. Today is Pride game here at the Kia Oval. It's the Pride round even, so first, the double header here on Friday as Surrey women take on Essex and the men take on Hampshire later on today. It'll be intriguing to see who opens the bowling for Surrey. We've seen a bit of a mix-up, a mix and match in the power play as of late. Sometimes we've seen a bit of seam, sometimes we've seen a bit of spin. But what we do know is it'll be a high quality encounter. We are running a tiny bit late here. The clock has ticked over to 2 p.m, the allocated start time. You see there Grace Scrivens on screen. Still a very, very highly regarded youngster. There we go. Woo! Pride round fireworks. It's all go here at the Blast at the Kia Oval. Mike, what are your thoughts on the fireworks? Enjoying them?
Excellent.
Well,
Very
glad.
nice. The rainbow pride colours as well. I'm slightly concerned that if the wind doesn't get up, this smoke might not disappear before we start. But yes, spectacular fireworks as always.
I'll tell you what, the smoke is, there's a few holes in. I think this commentary box would sink if you left it in water, because there's obviously some gaps where a bit of smoke is sneaking in. Alice McLeod is accompanying Grace Scrivens out to the middle. Made a very fine half century in her last innings against Lancashire. What should we expect today, Georgie?
I think, well, we've already seen some fireworks, but I think someone like Grace Scrivens, she's in good form again. She's just signed an extension with this Essex side as well. I think she'll be looking to sort of stamp authority up the top. We know it's usually pretty good for batting here at the Oval, so they'll be looking to take on this power play with the power hitting up the top of the likes of Scrivens. And then I think we could be on for a good one here. The sun is coming out as well, just peeping through. Surrey looking to fight back. Two very well established sides in this tournament already this season, so I think we're on for a humdinger here.
Well, a promotion for Bethan Miles, who has been made a professional debut a couple of weeks ago. She's now going to open the bowling for the first time. She has struggled for a bit of control at times. She's bowling against the left-handed Scrivens here. And that's 4. Cut through the offside, just enough width on offer for Scrivens to back away and cut that ball through the offside. 4 runs to begin.
Yeah, it's what you dream of to start, isn't it? Just giving that little extra bit of width, pierces the gap nicely. It's stacked on that offside, the field up inside the ring in the power play, but just able to find that gap and have enough control. And that's one way to get off the mark, isn't it?
It's down the leg side, pulled, and that'll be 4 more. That was a freebie from Miles, so a difficult start for Surrey here.
Yeah, I think you call that an overcorrection. Too far down the offside. The previous delivery, this time straying down the leg and just sat up, and Scrivens is far too good a player to let that go. It's just a freebie, a gimme. Back-to-back boundaries to open her account.
It's a difficult task here for Miles. She's slow left arm bowler bowling to a left-handed batter. No one's behind square on the offside. She can't bowl too quickly if they use the pace. Has that found the gap? Yes, just about. They'll get back 4-2.
They've done this a bit actually, this Surrey side. Like to open up with a bit of spin. It seems to be their latest tactic this season.
That's full, and that's 4. Still, just the lack of pace on the ball is allowing Scrivens the time to shuffle back and just place that ball through the gap on the offside. And there might need to be a little bit of a rethink from Surrey here.
Yes, it's really tricky for the youngster after just making her debut a couple of weeks ago. She's then facing up with someone. Grace Scrivens, she's not old either, but she is a seasoned pro out in the middle. And if you miss that line just a bit, she's going to chew it up.
Good change here. Cover point drops out. Long on comes into the ring. And that's 4 more. Grace Scrivens is picking these off from Bethan Miles. And this is a rapid start from Essex. Surrey won the toss and elected to bowl. There's been lots of runs on offer here at the Kia Oval. So Essex will know they'll need to get off to a flying start. And this happened against Lancashire a week or so ago. Danny Gregory's first over went for about 22. And Surrey were fantastic in the outfield from that point onwards and kind of dragged the game back in their favour. They wouldn't have been planning to do the same again. Pulled up towards mid-on. Run out opportunity, potentially. That's out! There is that. No! Makes it home just about. I tell you what, I've given it from here. I thought we were about to see a carbon copy of the Lancashire game where Surrey's outfield cricket comes to save the day. A risky single for Grace Scrivens. I tell you what, if I was on 18 off 5, I would not want to be getting myself run out at the end of the first over. 19 for no loss. Georgie, let's see this replay. Or if we do get a chance to have another look at it, I thought that looks pretty good.
Honestly, I put the finger up as well. I know we're not exactly side on, we're as far away as we could possibly be, but it did look like it, didn't it? She was really scrambling. The throw coming in, the direct hit. We see a lot of these from Surrey. They're renowned for their work in the field. And Grace Scrivens looking to just keep strike after already being on 18. We think, all right, she's going to keep strike. And then suddenly in it comes. She could have easily just carried on running and been on her way, as far as we thought.
That was out. I won't sit on the fence here. That was out. She was scrambling. And that was out.
Well, a potential let-off for Grace Scrivens and Essex. We've seen a lot of direct hits from mid-off and mid-on from this Surrey team over the last week or so.
What I would say, Cam, is that's what's kept them in games, is their fielding, without a shadow of a doubt.
McDonald Gay to open the bowling from the Vauxhall end. It's a big wide down the leg side. Smart work by Kira Chatley behind the stump. So a bit of a ragged start by Surrey, with the exception of one piece of fielding, which wasn't rewarded. Now, I imagine Bethan Miles will not bowl a second over. Bryony Smith has been very proactive with her bowling changes. It's been rare when any bowler, regardless of how well they've bowled over their 6 balls, has got another one. On the money from RMG. What do you think of RMG as a nickname? We've got ADR. DWH?
Yeah, we'll go with it. But I also think Surrey must hold the record for the most players with double-barrel surnames. That's my tuppence on that.
So how many have we got in the team today? We'll have to have a look through the scorecard. Short. That's down the leg side again. McDonald Gay. I'm going to come to you, Churchy, mid-over. Had a record-breaking evening a couple of weeks ago where she took 6 for 11, I believe.
It was.
And we now kind of expect her to do it every time.
Yeah, I feel for her a bit because she bowled well against Somerset and she bowled well at Hampshire, but I think everybody's expecting her to be on a hat-trick all the time now.
Well, they take another quick single. This time it isn't a direct hit. So 3 runs off the first legal delivery. Alice McLeod is going to be allowed to join the game.
Bryony Smith just moving her field around. You feel like Rihanna McDonald-Gay, what they're looking for here is just to slow that run scoring, because that first over was just 19 runs coming from it. So she's looking to try and just probe that line, but just missing it at the moment. The 2 wides to open her first over of the day.
That's cut behind square. Fielding will be done in the deep. Jemima Spence often finds herself in any position which requires a lot of running. They tend to put Spence there. Just gone back and found a freeze frame of that run-out opportunity. It was just that. It was actually a lot closer than I thought it was. So I can understand the on-field decision. But goodness me, you'd been sick to your back teeth of your Grace Scrivens. You'd finished that first over, having run yourself out. Muted appeal for LBW. Nothing doing.
No, but she's found her line now, hasn't she? McDonald-Gay obviously bowling at that opening partnership, the left-hand, right-hand combination. Scrivens being the powerful left-hander who opens up, and, well, McLeod at the other end. Just get a seat and have a watch at the moment. She only faced one.
Just a tiny bit of shape into the left-hander. Again, turned round the corner, but almost bowling to her field there. It's a very easy tuck round the corner for 1 run, but it's only 1 run. I remember having a kind of description of all formats of cricket, which I really enjoyed a couple of years ago, which was in Test cricket, 1 run is a win for the batter. In ODI cricket, 1 run is a tie.
Okay.
And in T20 cricket, 1 run is a win for the bowling team. Have that. Just remember that. Log that away. Mark Church is thinking deeply about that. Oh, that'll be another wide ball. So a third wide ball of the over.
I'm thinking deeply about it.
Do you like it?
No.
Oh, okay. Why
I'm
not?
thinking deep. Well, that wicket surely would be better, wouldn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness
see,
me.
you know,
The pedant arrives again.
No.
But it's about how no, it's
having these sayings is all well and good, young Cameron.
But it's the object of one run a single. Thought for a second, I just heard a feather as that went on its way through. But McDonald Gay's first over is complete. It's 25 for no loss after 2 overs, and that is a win for Essex.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a bit like the start to the Lancashire game, this. But of course, Surrey are very confident of chasing anything down. Just back to the run out, seeing it again, it was closer than I thought as well. And I can see why Julia Jarvis would have given that not out. And we tend to forget, of course, they haven't got TV umpires for the games that are being live streamed, but it was out. So it is a stroke of luck for Grace Scrivens, who started very nicely here. And it can happen when you bowl the first over. It's a difficult thing to do.
Another change of bowling. Another change of bowling. A first change of bowling of the afternoon. Alice Monaghan comes into the attack from the pavilion end. It's down the leg side as well. I think it's just taken a bit of thigh pad. No, says the umpire. Alice Monaghan looks on with a bit of surprise. I think it's umps. That's almost comical, kind of scratch of the chin.
Yeah, scratch the chin. Are you sure about that? Well, she's not going to suddenly go, oh, actually, no, you're right, and change your mind. But again, just that left-hand, right-hand combination. So Scrivens, the left-hander, straying down her leg side here. Monaghan, who's coming off the back of a great game against Somerset herself.
Driven down the ground. And goodness me, Alice McLeod was almost a cropper there, because that came off the inside half of Monaghan's boot and almost deflected back onto the stumps.
I just worry about my ankles if you're sticking your foot out like that. Oh. So Scrivens out 22 from 11. Absolute rollicking start that first over. Just trying to slow things down. McLeod looking to try and get into the game now.
Well, McLeod's only faced 2 deliveries. 2 sweepers out. Square of the wicket on either side. Swing and a miss, and big swing for Monaghan. It did go as the ball went past the bat, but then went even further on its way through to Kira Chatley. You'll see this ball just duck away from the right-hander. Not much foot movement on offer from McLeod. Shuffled down the track, and it's really beautifully played by McLeod. Trying to nullify that swing, clips the ball away into the leg side for 1 run. That'll be another wide ball.
Yeah, struggling from both ends. These opening bowlers from Surrey. I think it's just the left hand of Grace Scrivens.
I'm intrigued to see if there was a signal there from Alice Monaghan. Kind of dipped her wrist on the ball towards Kira Chatley. And it is a short ball. It's well cut off behind square. It's timed by Kalia Moore. If that is a secret code that Surrey have developed, I think they might need to work on their secrecy a little bit, rather than the big point of the ball towards the batter and the dip of the wrist. Maybe it was all just a coincidence. McLeod back on strike. Hammered up towards mid-off. That'll be no run on this occasion. Bryony Smith does the work. Immediately up and directing her troops. She thinks she wants more to just change the angle a little bit out on the boundary. Just a little bit straight, and you see McLeod trying to muscle that ball through the leg side to no avail. 30 for no loss after 3. So Surrey's past 2 overs, getting a bit of control back into this fixture. We've seen the power play being so important across this competition. Are you looking to come down to the Kia Oval for some test match cricket? Well, the test match summer is just around the corner. It's already started north of the river, currently up at Lords. But England will play New Zealand at the Kia Oval from Wednesday, June the 17th to Sunday, June the 21st. There are still a very limited number of tickets available. So if you want to book your place, get on the Kia Oval website, tickets.surreycricket.com. England currently 84 for 1 at Lords.
All I was going to mention was the reason you're looking out for codes is because you're currently reading the best spy novel ever written, aren't you?
A very good link. Well done. And I'm reading John Le Carré. I think that's how you pronounce his surname. The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. And I'll tell you what, Georgie, I'm having to concentrate a lot. More into the attack. Some leg spin. That's a beautiful start. From I've always described Moore as the kind of off spinner's leg spinner, or the leg spinner's off spinner, one of those two ways. She gets such big action on the ball drop, and sometimes at the expense of a bit of control. Oh, she started beautifully. That's well played by Scrivens, who will just take a single. But 2 balls just dipping onto the stumps.
I always think that with leg spinners, you just get some and they get themselves into such contorted positions, and perhaps that's what makes it look so difficult.
I briefly bowled leg spin as a child, and I remember taking 2 6-wicket hauls, I'll have you know, in consecutive weeks or over the course of 3 weeks, and then I got whacked once, and that was me done. Could never do it again. So I admire anyone who sticks to the art, the craft, round the wicket. That's a beautiful cricket shot. 4 runs, 2 bounces. And how about that, Alice McLeod just giving herself a bit of room with the SS Jumbo in hand and lifting the ball up and over cover for 4.
Yeah, this is magnificent looking stroke, isn't it? Just gives herself that beautiful bit of room, wonderfully balanced, plants that front foot, bash, inside out, up over extra cover, couple of bounces.
Well, I don't think Moore should be too despondent about that boundary. There's not much. Maybe it was a tiny bit full. But if you're a bowler and the batter's having to take the risk they're having to take against you to score a boundary is to back away and lift you up and over cover for 4, I think you shake hands on that. Scriven back on strike. And that's out. Run out at the non-striker's end. It wasn't the first warning that McLeod had for that dismissal, but just a flick of the fingers on the way through from Moore. McLeod has to go. Goodness me. Well, Surrey, not in the most conventional manner, have their first wicket.
Wicket to wicket, you'll take it. McLeod just looking like she was starting to get going, that beautiful looking stroke, and then sometimes you're just unlucky. We obviously saw one of Alice Monaghan's boot the previous over and managed to miss the stumps. This time just getting a finger down to it is more, and it sends McLeod on her way. It was struck hard by Scrivens, just a little ricochet off the fingers, and off she goes.
Well, she hasn't learnt, because she almost went like that before, and yeah, unlucky, you could look at it that way, or a little bit clumsy from McLeod, because as I say, she had that warning beforehand. It's a horrible way to get out, it really is. But look how far down she is backing up. She's a long way down backing up, and she did have a warning beforehand, but Surrey will take it without a shadow of a doubt. One thing I have noticed is, and Emma Calvert mentioned it, I'll tell you after this delivery, sides this year against Surrey are looking to do to Surrey what Surrey do to them in the power play.
What does that mean?
So they go after them. They're looking to be aggressive. They're looking to put runs on the board. They're looking to put Surrey under pressure. I think sides have seen the way that Surrey bat, and they batted like that last year to win the competition. And I think sides now are coming out and being very aggressive against Surrey to put them under pressure with the ball in the power play, because they know how Surrey are going to go about it. And Essex will have arrived here today. They'll have seen the Lancashire score and seen Surrey chase that down, and they'll know they'll have to put a substantial total on the ball, because it's a good pitch as well, this one.
Well, 37 for 1 after 4 overs. Monaghan to continue, and Liberty Heap comes to the crease. Her first match of the Blast season. Scrivens has managed to pretty much face every ball this innings so far. She continues on 25. That's wide, well fielded, half fielded in the covers by Laura Harris, but it's more than enough to prevent the ball sailing or flying away to the boundary.
Yeah, Liberty Heap, another youngster coming through. She'll know Grace Scrivens very well, captained by her at that first Women's Under-19 World Cup back in South Africa a couple of years ago now. So they'll know each other well. They made it to that final at the time. They obviously spent a lot of time up at Lancashire, so made the trip down south.
Down the leg side, just flicks the pad on the way through. No run.
Only thing that will be annoying Surrey at the moment, there's been quite a few wide so far already. So extras have been a bit of an issue with the ball for Surrey this year.
Outside off stump. It's a swing and a miss for Heap. We've had 5 wides so far across the innings. We're only 4.3 overs in.
Well, the simple way to look at that is one more, you've had an extra over.
Correct.
And you know, that can add up come the end of the game, really.
Well, it's increasing the length of the innings by 5%.
Very good from you.
Thank you very much. This is why you
excellent
read
from
these
you.
spy novels. You engage your brain.
I think I've been reading the same book since about January, and I've been on page 117 since
Is it a good page?
about February.
Oh, nice. Okay. It does happen. I always have to get into routines. I'm now reading more that I'm back up in North London. So I've got the Victoria Line journey.
Oh,
So it's a good journey
Is it
for
gonna be-
reading.
Is it going to be 17 minutes? Is it going to be 37? You never know.
That's why you need a good book.
Exactly. No, the Blue Bullets. I won't hear a word against it. Monaghan in full, and Heap's just a bit late on that drive. Just the 1 run off this over. Heap will just be starting to tick over here. 4 balls without a run in for her first game of the season. Played against kind of an India 11 for a ECB Women's Development 11 recently. So highly thought of. Just looking for a bit of width to slash the ball away. No run, so just the 1 run off Monaghan's second over after 5 overs. Essex are 38 for 1, and Surrey have really dragged this back.
tell you what, that's a hell of a comeback. 19 runs came off the first over, and in the next 4 they've only doubled that. So they'll be very pleased with that as a response, Surrey, and also picking up the wicket, which was sort of a bonus wicket as well. They might have felt like they were hard done by not getting the run out earlier on, but Mother Cricket
Yes,
delivered.
Mother Cricket's always watching. She's never not watching. I was sat t'other evening with a member of the England selection panel who asked me for 2 names that I'd seen in the T20 for Surrey that had impressed me this season.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I'll tell you them after this delivery.
Oh, my goodness me. The suspense builds.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Rihanna McDonald-Gay starts her second. And again, just wayward down that leg side. These extras have really crept into Surrey's game today.
That's 1 extra over now for Essex. First one was Jemima Spence.
Yeah.
Second one was Alice Monaghan. She has really impressed me, and she gets better every game.
Alice more than useful
More than
Monaghan.
useful Monaghan, yes.
Yeah, that's much better. Almost takes out Liberty Heap at the other end. Heap yet to get off the mark as well. So they have dragged this back nicely here, Surrey. 19 runs off the first over. Now 39 for 1 into the final over of the power play here and the fielding restrictions. You'd say, really, the only part of their game they've got to work on now is these extras, as you say, Cam, an extra over already bowled. Uses the feet, and that is beautiful from Grace Scrivens. Powerful down the ground and takes on McDonald Gay.
I think Scrivens is aware that Essex needs to make things happen here. Sides have started really taking the attack to Surrey in the power play, as Mark Church mentioned earlier. And after getting off to a flyer, 19 runs off the first over, the innings has stalled ever so slightly. And Scrivens, leading from the front, has injected some energy back into the innings.
It's a great response, that, from McDonald Gay, right at the toes of Grace Scrivens.
Just thinking about this, I tell you who would have been great for Grace Scrivens is Nick Brown.
Oh yes,
Who's the new batting coach for the Essex Women. Left-hander, of course. Good player, Nick Brown. But there's a little bit of the way she sets up like Nick Brown.
Short. Bit of aggression from McDonald Gay. Told that's her for the over.
It's interesting, is it? Scrivens has faced 21 deliveries for her 30, so she's seen an awful lot of the strike. But she's sort of ticking along. Everybody else is sort of just taking a bit of time to get going here.
Short again, this time pulled away, will land safely. Feel they're coming in off the rope at deep square leg. But I like this change up from McDonald Gay. She's showing that she's got something extra in the armoury. So one ball still to come in the power play. And should this be tidy, Surrey will feel they've really dragged this back. And actually, I think the power play could belong to them. The wicket, after the first over, went for 19, now at 44. Yeah, tidy finish. So dot to end the power play. 6 overs gone. Essex, after being put into bat, 44 for 1.
I think you're right, Georgie. I think Surrey will be the more content of the two teams, especially given how the past 5 overs have gone. When they've been on the money, we haven't seen too much by way of kind of aggressive batting from Essex. We obviously had the most recent boundary from Scrivens, but aside from that, when they've been on the mark, there's not been too many answers coming their way.
Just look at what Lancashire were on after 6. They were on 61.
It's a real book, a book of treats.
It's a book of numbers, my friend.
Absolutely.
A book of numbers. If you need to concentrate for the spy who came in from the cold, you really need to concentrate to work all this out.
Well, I was almost going to go the other way. I think I wouldn't need to think at all. All the information's presented to me in such a clear way.
And nice handwriting as well.
Oh, thank you, Georgie.
Yeah.
I do take a pride in handwriting.
There's not enough colours, though, if you ask me.
No, not
I like
really.
a team in different colours and my pens that change.
Just the one colour for me. Just the one colour.
All right, so Alice Monaghan, 6 runs have come from her, 2 overs so far. Scrivens steps away and gives herself room. It should just be 1. So Liberty Heap with another opportunity to try and get off the mark. Faced 6 deliveries so far and yet to find a run. So Surrey won't mind if Grace Scrivens is at the other end, because she's doing, well, not just the heavy lifting, pretty much all of the lifting at the moment, other than extras. Yeah, it looks to hoik this, and again, not timed. Heap still to get off the mark. Pressure building now.
It's a horrid little spot to find yourself as a batter where you're just desperately trying to get off the mark. Surrey's field does not allow for many easy singles either. Mid-on and mid-off are both up in the ring. You have cover points out where you could potentially drop and run. But if the ball's pretty straight, you've got a ring of 4 fielders waiting to cut off the single.
Has she got something on this? Because it's racing to the boundary. Bit of extra pace from Monaghan. Yep, 4 signalled. So Liberty Heap finally gets off the mark.
I thought that'd just come off the pad there. But Liberty Heap will be very pleased that it's gone in her favour. Maybe a bit of an inside edge. onto her thigh.
Full toss, worked away, and that's excellent bit of work on the rope. Gets the round of applause from the commentary box and appreciation from her teammate too. It brings up the 50 for Essex.
Yeah, those little things can really help. That was a great bit of work from Mars down below us. Sprinted round, dived, kept the ball inside the boundary rope, got the throw away quickly. Great bit of work, that.
Short again. And it's that frustration still from Heap. She started to get going and then sitting up and eyes sort of lit up. Gives herself a little shake of the head.
I always think the worst thing as well is when somebody at the other end's making it look quite straightforward and you can't time anything.
Funny old game, isn't it? Finds the bottom edge, looks to scamper through for a single, and Scriven sends her home. So close out the over with a dot. 7 overs gone. Essex 52 for 1.
Yeah, that is really difficult when somebody is ticking along at the other end and then you get on strike. You feel you should be doing what they're doing. I think Heap's just got to make sure she gets bat on ball really here, even at this point. And Heap's a good player, but I think it's almost a case now of just get off strike and let Scrivens come on strike, because at the moment Scrivens is playing a slightly different game to everybody else, and I think you're almost at that point for Heat. Just let Scrivens be on strike at the moment, let her do what she's doing.
So we're going to have a change in bowler here for Surrey. Danny Gregory into the attack.
I think this change could be good for Heap. The wrist spin will just give a few more scoring opportunities. Be able to get yourself ticking over. Scrivens on strike.
Beautifully played and beautifully fielded. Looked like she just managed to pierce the gap, but diving effort as the field changes again for that left-hand, right-hand combination. Long on and long off, both out, and then 2 out deep on the leg side. This time is punched off the back foot, scampering through for a single. So even Scrivens has been slowed down as well now. She started at quite some pace, but the Surrey bowlers pegging this back, and also those extras have just crept out of the game again. Again, can't get it through. Good stuff this from Gregory.
Well, Scrivens was 19 off 6. So she's now 14 off 19. So it's been a real split innings.
Gives herself room, pulled away. Again, can only pick out the fielder for 1. So dealing in singles at the moment on this Essex side. Again, not timed. Heap bottom edges it. Settle for 1. Even on the missed field, they're coming back for a second. And that's good awareness. The throw coming in, and actually, I think it's hit the stumps, whether that's Kira Chapley's gloves or not.
Well, a lot of cricket happened there. Jemima Spence, I think, kind of almost playfully was trying to nab the ball away from her teammates. Then the misfield came, which allowed a second run, and then it was a direct hit.
Somehow that's missed. Just skidding on. And it'll be a dot to end the over. Tidy one from Gregory. 5 runs coming from it. 8 gone. 56 for 1.
Ground tours here at the Kia Oval. There's a strong argument pushed no less than the host of the Rest is History podcast, Tom Holland, that the Oval is the most historic sports ground in the world. If you're interested in seeing behind the scenes, learning about some of the incredible sporting history that was made in Kennington, then book yourself a ground tour at the Kia Oval. The tour guides are fantastic, and you can scan that QR code that's on your screen now. And we'll return in the future, no doubt.
It's a great tour. It's a great tour. You'll also get to see the commentary boxes. See the commentary being done. So it's a tremendous tour. So I really would recommend that. You get to see dressing rooms and all around the ground.
Alice Davison-Richards into the attack, and first ball just played away nicely backward of square on the offside for 4. Not had a bowler in a couple of games either.
Well, I'm intrigued by kind of Alice Davison-Richards' fitness and role in this side, because she bowls with so sporadically. Sometimes she turns up and she's bowling first change, and sometimes we don't see her with the ball in hand at all. Today's a bowling day, by the looks of it.
Well, we'll wait to see who opens the batting, because of course they've chopped and changed at the top.
Odds on evens.
Odds on evens.
Carbon copy. Back-to-back boundaries. Welcome to the bowling attack, Alice Davison-Richards.
It's a very good shot from Scrivens, because she's just waited on the back foot, played this pretty late actually, and it's not that short. That's just pure timing. It's a lovely shot, that, from Grace Scrivens.
She moves into the 40s. 42 from 28. Waits on this. The bouncer, the slower ball bouncer, just sitting up. They'll settle for a single. They won't mind this. Scrivens not on strike.
No, Scrivens just finding her rhythm again. Heap, after I think she got off the mark from her 8th delivery, she's just started to find some rhythm as well. She'll be looking to score square against Davison-Richards here.
Well, full toss, full bunger, and straight down the throat of the fielder at deep square leg. Sometimes it's the worst deliveries that get you the wickets. Safe pair of hands as well, Alice Monaghan. And it was painful at times for Liberty Heap, and now she's on her way.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes that can be a deadly delivery. There's no way Alice Davison-Richards meant to bowl that delivery, but Heap, had she been timing the ball, that probably would have gone straight over deep backward square for 6. But the problem is she hasn't really timed anything there, and eyes lit up. And I think probably at times with deliveries like this, you try and hit it far too hard, and she really has given that absolutely everything, and it's come straight off the toe end and out towards Alice Monaghan, who took a very safe catch there. But we'll just see, is it above waist high? It's touch and go, isn't it, really? But it's a nice safe catch. But yeah, I feel a bit for Heat there, because you often see that with someone who isn't really timing the ball. They see a big full bunger and think, woohoo, here we go. Try and give it absolutely everything and completely mistime it, which is what she did there. But Surrey won't mind. Just chipping away at the other end, really, at the moment, Surrey.
Well, it brings Jodie Goocock out to the middle.
Well, you mentioned Mother Cricket earlier, Georgie, and their run out that they didn't get earlier on today's Surrey, I think they might have just got it back in their favour there, because on another day that could have been called a no ball for being over waist height.
Beautifully played. That'll get Grewcock off the mark. Not gone for 4. Great bit of work in the deep. And again, it's Alice Monaghan out on the rope.
That's the best bit of cricket of the day. A beautiful shot from Grewcock to get off the mark. And just when you were certain it was going to race away for 4, Alice Monaghan, the kind of almost widely agreed to be the best athlete in the Surrey side, flung herself across the outfield, across those practice wickets, and kept it down to 2.
Pulled away this time and through the hands. So The over bookended by fours. Davison Richards, expensive in the end, 15 from it, but picking up the wicket. 9 overs gone, 71 for 2.
Well, you'd be proud of me, because when I mentioned Alice Monaghan too, whoever it was I was talking to, who was part of the selection team for England, I discussed her fielding and said she's an absolute superstar. And do you know what I told them?
Did you say that she has lots fast twitch muscles?
Yeah, I used the word fibres.
Oh,
is that not right? Fast twitch fibres?
I don't know.
Well, anyway, I said that she's got a fast twitch somethings, but I did also say that she's absolutely terrific in the field, and we saw it there. Okay, the catch wasn't difficult, but she made it look pretty straightforward, but her fielding as well, and with her and McDonald Gay sweeping, they both got terrific arms as well, sweeping on those cover and mid-wicket boundary ropes.
Kalia Moore is going to start her second over, going round the wicket to the left-hander. And there's a little bit of confusion. Scrivens, it was a yes, no, maybe. And eventually they decide against it.
Well, Jodie Grucock has walked out to the middle. And after only 2 balls, seems in the form of her life. The ball sounded amazing off the bat on both occasions.
And that's well stopped. Really good bit of work. Parried. She'll be frustrated with herself that that's gone for a single in the end. It was hit hard and straight to her. Obviously, Jodie Grucock had that England call-up earlier on this summer. It did struggle a little bit in international colours. Flighted full toss this time from Moore. Should just be 1 more to the total.
I read an interview with David Milan, that was in The Cricketer, and he spoke about the way he decides kind of the innate intangibles of how you decide whether someone's a good player. And he said he'd stand at backward point or at gully or wherever he'd be, and he'd almost close his eyes and he'd listen, and it was the sound off the bat. He said international cricketers, the sound it makes when they make contact is just different. There's a different level of crispness.
Again, looks to give herself room and can't get this through, Scrivens. So he's not listening for the sound of them sort of muttering to themselves. But for God's sake, come on, you should have hit that.
It's just the kind of, there's a sweetness of and cleanness of connection that separates the best from the rest.
It's well bowled and well played as well. Good touch that from Scrivens. And they scamper through for 1. So that closes out the 10 overs, halfway through their innings here. Essex, after being put into bat, 74 for 2.
I think they need up around 180 here. We saw that with Lancashire. Good pitch. Quick outfield, of course, here. So I think they're going to need up around 180 today against this Surrey batting lineup. Absolutely. What Cameron was saying, so true. You can hear it on commentary. You can hear it through the effects mic. If you're listening to a commentary, you know it's 4 just from the sound off the bat. It just makes a different noise when it's timed. And yeah, it's so true in international cricket as well. It just makes a different noise off the bat.
Danny Gregory from the pavilion end. That's a bit short on this occasion. Nudged into the offside, and Essex scamper through for a single. It just came to mind when Jodie Grucock played that first ball out to the offside. That was brilliantly stopped by Monaghan. And you have a player who's kind of on the cusp of the England setup, and kind of in one isolated moment, when her predecessor, or Liberty Heap, in at 3, had been potentially struggling for a bit of timing. Then Grucock, England international, comes out and times one out to the offside off the back foot. Grucock on strike now. That's pulled hard into the leg side. It'll just be 1. Two left-handers. There's a dearth of left-handed women's batters in England. It's one of those quirks of the... What's been a storyline over the last 10 or 15 years. That's very short. Gregory gets away with it. They're trying to work out why England hadn't fielded a team with either kind of one specialist left-handed batter or at least 2 for years, and Nick Friend of the Cricketer went on a kind of investigative mission to try and understand why. I don't know if he actually found out an answer, to be honest. There was one of the hypothetical theories. No, I don't think that's the right word. One of the theories was the crossover between hockey and cricket is quite high.
Yeah.
People playing one sport and the other.
makes
Hockey's
sense.
only a right-handed sport.
That makes sense.
But it means that if you are, like these two out in the middle now, left-handed, it gives you kind of a point of difference to show off. Short again. I tell you what, Danny Gregory's got away with a couple this over, but it's working for Surrey.
I also think perhaps it's a historic thing. You know, back in the day when you weren't allowed to be left-handed, you were forced to do things right-handed.
Short. That's one run. It's not going to be Danny Gregory's prettiest ever over, but it's a very effective one. Just 5 runs off it. 11 overs gone. Essex 79 for 2. Were you being having pens taken out of your
But
right
that was
hand
the
and shoved
thing,
in your
wasn't
left?
it, in the old days? You got forced to do everything right-handed. You weren't allowed to be
No,
left-handed.
that's very true. Very, very true.
So perhaps historically there could have been a lot more very good sports people if they were allowed to use the hand
Well,
they actually wanted to
I think
use.
I'm right in saying that you should naturally bat left-handed
Yeah.
because it's your dominant
Yeah.
hand. But you're right, that there aren't that many in the women's game, left-handers. So this is great, actually, to see these two together, batting together. But it may well be that. And I think the hockey thing as well is quite
Yeah.
an interesting theory. I love it when Nick Friend gets to be in his
Yeah.
bonnet and goes on an investigative journalistic type trail.
Happens a lot. Miles back into the attack. She's on the money there. It's well bowled. She's got her 4 fielders out on the boundary from long off all the way around to deep square leg.
He's a little like the Poirot of
Hercule,
Domestic
cricket
cricket.
journalism, isn't
Hercule
he?
friend.
Yeah.
It's driven strongly out towards a long off. They could get back for a couple.
I did see him at an event this week and he was investigating the tee selection.
That's 50 up for Grace Scrivens. Her second of the competition, this time off 40 balls. She got off to a flyer, 19 runs scored off the first over. She's been a mainstay throughout this innings and helping her side up to what will be a competitive total. Full toss, and that's the third kind of poor delivery in the last 6 balls that Surrey have bowled that hasn't been punished.
Yes, I did see Nick Friend at a cricketing event this week and he was just investigating all of the different tee options. One of each sandwich.
Quite right.
You knew where you'd find him, it was just by the tee.
It's beautifully played. Split the fielders. Could be nasty collision in the deep. Essex have got back for 2. It looks like everyone's okay.
Yeah, that could be nasty. I think Monaghan's okay, which is the most important thing, but that could have been really nasty because they both went for it, slid at the same time, and I think there might just be a little bit of a concussion protocol here for Alice Monaghan.
Yeah, physio just running on now.
I think possibly it was the knee of McDonald Gay. Yeah, it was. Oh, that could have been really nasty. I think as it is, she's okay, but they'll just go through a bit of a concussion protocol with her now, just to double check, ask her a series of questions, and just see. And if there is any thought that she's not, they'll take her off and just sit with her for a little bit. But that could have been really nasty. Talking about injuries, poor old Cordelia Griffith out for the season.
Out for the
with
season.
a leg injury. Yeah, that's why she's not playing today, which is a real shame. So wish her all the best. But yeah, out for the season with a leg injury.
That's a
So
very
that is
serious
really-
injury if
yeah,
you're out for that
absolutely.
period of
So
time.
That is a real shame.
Yeah, there was head coach Stephen Parry saying this week it was extremely sad for Cords and the team to lose her for the season going forward. It would be a massive loss for everyone at the club. We send our love and care to her and her family. As a team, we need to use this trauma as fuel to keep us driving forward. We all wish Cords a full and healthy recovery and we look forward to seeing her again soon.
Yeah, I think Monaghan's okay. It's always a bit of a concern as well when the opposition physio runs over to have a chat. I think she's going to go over and have a word with the 2 umpires now. So the 2 umpires come into this as well. it may be that Monaghan stays out there, but it'll be the umps that will keep an eye on her. And you know, if there is any suspicion that there is a bit of concussion there, then it will be straight off. Jemima Spence has just run over and sort of indicated it's more shoulder than head. But quite take as long as you need to with this, because it's so important. But no, I think it was definitely sort of a knee to the head, wasn't it? But there are smiles now, which is always a very good sign. And I think she's going to stay out there, but they will keep an eye on her. And there she is, bouncing around now. So she looks okay, doesn't she? But the umpires will just keep a little eye on her. But yeah, that could have been really nasty. So thankfully, Alice Monaghan is all right.
Well, Surrey's kind of two best fielders
I know, it's
on
a
a
great
collision
commitment.
course with one another. And as you'd expect from the combined forces of McDonald, Gay and Monaghan, the stop was made.
Yes, of course it was.
One way or another.
It was.
So I imagine she might have had to go through the concussion protocols. And they've given her the thumbs up. So we're going to be back underway here at the Kia Oval. Bethan Miles 4 balls through her second over. And Grucock ticking along nicely, 11 off 6. Wouldn't be surprised if you tried to see these left-handers try and make room and cut the ball through the offside. Just nudged up to long off for a single. Second wicket has fallen at Lords in England's second innings. Jacob Bethel clean bowled by a low one, a scuttler. Matt Henry bowling with the wicketkeeper up to the stumps. So the England men 127 ahead there with 8 wickets remaining. Well, I tell you what, if that had been picked up cleanly by Jemima Spence, I think Essex or Jodie Grucock or Grace Scrivens, pick your end, would have been in trouble. As it happens, they make it home. It's 86 for 2 after 12.
Yeah, the other thing that injury for Alice Monaghan was enabled Messrs Scrivens and Grucock to have a drink and possibly get a message from the dressing room as well.
Yeah, it can work one of two ways, something like that, can't it? Because you often see after a drinks break, batters can lose a bit of concentration perhaps, and how often do we see a wicket fall after a drinks break? And talking of drinks break, that's the way to spend your Friday afternoon.
Ah, they're having a lovely time.
That's
aren't
called,
they?
what is it, work from Oval?
Yes, indeed.
But don't even bring your laptop.
Well, you don't need it.
Danny Gregory to continue. Just 10 runs conceded from her 2 overs. It's well bowled from the leg spinner and well fielded as well. Laura Harris, I'm pretty sure most of the time I see Laura Harris, she's diving around somewhere.
She's a brilliant fielder.
I was going to say she put a bit of mayo on it, but yeah, we'll go with that.
Well, I'm not saying she needed to dive. I'm just saying I always see her flying in one direction or the other. She's taken 2 brilliant catches in the last couple of weeks. That kind of backward point. One one-hander, one flying to her left from memory. Well bowled again by Gregory. This is a tough challenge for Surrey's bowlers at this point, because typically you'd want your spinners spinning the ball away from the batters. Now at the moment they have the slow left arm of Miles and the leg spin of Gregory, bringing the ball back into both left-handers. It's just another single to the total. So if you're Essex, you'd probably be trying to target these overs right now to get a move on.
Yeah, they've got plenty of wickets in hand. They've got a well-set Grace Scrivens out in the middle and Jodie Grucock as well going along nicely. So they do just want to try and up the ante a bit at this point to give themselves a platform.
It's pulled into the leg side. Good feet.
Into the back end of this innings, because after the start they got off to, it looked like we were on for something massive.
Half a stop at cover. Does the job though. Palms the ball off. Almost tips it round the post. To mid-off, so another single. Danny Gregory sporting very tidy figures this afternoon. Again, just 14 runs conceded. 4 singles off the over. That was a hit and run. And I tell you what, I spotted that from the umpire. There was a sneaky finger that went up until they realised that Kira Chatley hadn't gathered the ball cleanly. It's not the first time this afternoon that Essex have almost been taking slightly suicidal singles to the fielders on the ring, but they so far have got away with it. 13 overs gone, 91 for 2, Mark Church.
Well, I'm going to come back to what you told me earlier.
Oh, yeah?
About your ones.
Oh, yes.
Yes, well, actually, no, in this situation, that is spot on, your analogy, because boundaries have dried up. So I think the last over we had a boundary was when Alice Davison-Richards took the wicket of Heath. We haven't had the boundary for a while, so it's all been singles.
You are correct.
So this
4 overs without a boundary.
Yeah, there you go. So if you're Surrey, you're very happy with that at this point, especially because this is where they want to start working their way through the gears, Essex.
McDonald Gay back into the attack. Pushed into the offside very elegantly by Scrivens.
I was only winding you up. Your analogy was excellent.
It's phenomenal.
Very, very good. I remember the first ever year of T20. That was one of the only tactics that Surrey went into T20 with.
Which was?
Singles are great. Well, we were very happy with singles. It's the boundaries we're slightly concerned about. That was about the only tactic they had. That and not playing spinners. First year of the T20. If you ever want to do a Nick Friend investigation,
I'd love to.
Go over 2003 and go through all the sides and see how many spinners were playing in it. And I would say it would be 2 maximum of all the counties. Nobody played spin. No spinners
2
played.
as in 2 spinners across the 18 counties? Or okay. I'll be fascinated by this.
Surely one of them is Samit Patel.
I think Samit played, yeah. Samit would have played, but they genuinely thought spin had no place in T20 in their first year. So I think most of the spinners all went off together on holiday to, I don't know, Torremolinos or something, and had 2 weeks on the beach in the sun, and then everybody worked out, oh, actually, do you know what? Spin could play a very big part in this.
Sounds a very pleasant holiday.
Yes.
Nudged up towards long on for a single. And more news from Lords. Emilio Gay has gone to a half century.
Oh, debut, good lad.
There's a flurry of runs happening. He's actually went to his 50 in an over where he took 16 runs off a Nathan Smith over.
Excellent stuff.
3 boundaries. Joe Root's just got off the mark as well. So England have scored 20 runs in the last 7 balls over there. Essex wouldn't mind repeating that trick here at the Kier Oval. Heaved into the leg side. That could be the first boundary. No.
Oh.
Superb work in the deep. Surrey's outfield cricket. We've said it so many times across the season. And this time it's Moore who threw herself to her right. It's brilliant work.
Yeah, it was struck really nicely, really cleanly, and she sort of just appeared out of nowhere. Timed the dive perfectly. Had a mate Monaghan next to her to parry it too.
That's cut down into the ground. And a 5th over passes. Bit of fancy footwork from Bryony Smith. 14 overs gone. That run rate just below 7 and over. Standing there at 6.86. 96 for 2. I think Georgie Heath at Surrey will be the happier of the 2 sides.
Yeah, definitely. The way things started for Essex and the way Scrivens has been hitting it at times throughout the innings, you would have thought they'd be well past that 100 mark at this point. But they've dragged it back so nicely. A lot of that thanks to their work in the field as well, you know, saving boundaries here, there and everywhere. The boundaries have dried up, but also those extras have dried up. They were leaking runs just down the leg side earlier on. The batters weren't having to do anything except watch it fly past, add a run to the total. So it's been a really good comeback for this from Surrey.
Gregory to finish her 4 overs. Well, Scrivens goes for the reverse, just gets 1 run.
So that's 5 overs now without a boundary. And that's the other thing with that bit of fielding by Kalia Moore. You know, again, it keeps it down to a single.
Grewcock on strike. Cuts. That's kept to 1.
Did very well there, did Bethan Miles. It was cut down, it was sort of off the outside edge, and it's one of those horrible ones that bounced just in front of Miles. She did really well there to get something on it.
That will be the boundary. It's been a long wait for Essex. It will also be their 100. As Scrivens moves on to 63. Well, you know what? Sorry, that's part of the game. They'll be very, very pleased with their efforts over the last 5.5 overs, and Essex is going to need a lot more of those if they're going to post a competitive total.
Yeah, and it took a very good shot from Scrivens as well to beat the dive of Laura Harris.
Gives herself room. And brilliantly fielded there at point. So Surrey continue to do good work in the field. They do sneak through for a single. Just looking at Grace Scrivens' innings, 64 of 51. If my maths are correct, remember she took 19 runs off the first over.
Yep.
So if you take off 19 runs and 6 deliveries, she's on 45 or 45. And that's been a more accurate indication of the scoring rate of this innings. Take away that first over, and Essex found it very hard to get going. Danny Gregory, well, her work for the afternoon is done. An almost perfect spell of bowling. 0 for 24 off 4. A runner ball. He'd shake hands on that on every occasion after 15 overs. Essex 105 for 2.
Yeah, you'd be very pleased with that return, wouldn't you, if you're Danny Gregory? It's not necessarily about the taking wickets. It's about putting that squeeze on, that pressure on. They haven't been able to get her away. And as a spinner, you can get taken on so easily, as we were saying earlier. Suddenly, then you don't want to be a spinner anymore, as we have learnt. But really good stuff, keeping it tidy from an end. And kept Grace Scrivens quiet, who we did see early on start absolutely rocketing out of the traps. But now, job to do in these last 5 overs for Essex. 105 for 2 on the board. Gives herself a little bit of room this time and can't get it through the infield.
Little arm ball there by Moore. Just pushing her finger down behind the ball, getting the ball to swing into the left-hander.
Just straying down that leg side this time. We don't want those, if you're a Surrey supporter or part of the Surrey side, to let these extras start creeping in again in the back quarter of this innings. They'll scamper through for a single. They're having to really just take on the field here, just tot up those singles where they get the opportunity. Very quick between balls is Callia Moore. And again, not quite played cleanly by Grucock. Adds another to the tally.
Even Grucock was 7 off 3 when she first came in, so she's been 12 off 13. Shows you just how hard these Essex batters have been finding it to turn the strike over. More to the point, find the boundaries.
Little bit of confusion. This is going to be gone. Yeah. Running on the misfield. You hear it so often. Don't do it. And she's done it, and off she goes. And it's a bonus wicket again for Surrey.
Well, I think Essex have clicked the wrong button there, because they thought that ball had snuck through Laura Harris, but it hadn't. It was just by her feet. And they've inexplicably called yes, and Grucock has to go. She's run out by half a pitch.
Yeah, I think when you see this again, absolutely right. Laura Harris knew exactly where the ball was. And Grucock and Scrivens had no idea where the ball was. And set off for a single that was never there. That's a real bonus for Surrey. It's not a great bit of cricket, that, really, from Essex. We'll see it again here, but Harris knows exactly where this ball is. It's struck firmly, but Harris has dived and it's right by her feet, and, well, Grucock never got started. And sort of been sold up the river a bit there by Scrivens. Here we go. Here's the dive. There. She's got the ball right by her feet, and Scrivens just kept running. And Grucock's never got going, so that is a real bonus. And I was just looking, Essex have struck 11 boundaries in this innings, of which Scrivens has 8.
Well, she's still out there, and she's joined by Joe Gardner now 3 wickets down, 2 to come in this 16th over. The bat is turning in the hand of Gardner. And again, can't get this through, so she's yet to get off the mark. So successful over for Moore, the wicket, and just the 3 runs, including the wide, coming from it. 16 gone, 108 for 3.
I don't know what you two think, but this looks a good pitch as well. It was a good pitch, what were we, a couple of nights ago? It's a good pitch to bat on this. So there's Grewcock. He's probably not best pleased with all that, I would have thought, and might go and have a quiet sit in the dressing room, just calm down. But yeah, Scrivens, very obvious thing to say here. Scrivens now has to see as much of this bowling as she can from here on in.
Do you know what that reminded me of?
What did it remind you
I
of?
remember playing garden cricket with my dad, and he pretended to not know where the ball was in the bush.
Ah, that old chestnut.
So I set off for, I think, a 7th, and I was run out.
Here's Davison Richards. She picked up that wicket in her first over with the full bunger straight down the throat of the fielder, but you'll take a wicket either way. See, I was never allowed to bat in cricket in the garden because my brother and his friends would let me play with them, and they always told me that fielding was the best position, and I just wanted to be included. So
They've tricked you there.
I spent
They
more of my
really
time
have
fetching the
fooled you.
ball from the neighbour's garden than doing anything else.
And look at the love for the sport it
And now I'm
inspired
just a
in you.
really good fielder.
Well, as we've seen with Surrey, it's worth its weight in gold.
Isn't it just?
Worth its weight in gold. Less hedges to go through and fences to climb over. But they've been very good in the field again today.
Stacked up in the ring on the offside. Slower ball from Davison Richards. Just pushed away for 1.
Well, 6 and over from here would be, they'd be up around about the 135 mark. Don't think that'll be enough.
Beats both diving fielders, and that'll be 4 more for Grace Scrivens, who moves into the 70s, and she's almost single-handedly getting Essex up to something respectable here.
We've had 2 of these now, because we had Sophie Luff in the last game, play one of the best innings you could ever wish to see in T20 cricket, and get 81 not out. And here it's all about Grace Scrivens. So we've had 2 consecutive games now where one batter has absolutely dominated their side's innings.
The second top score today is Grewcock with 19.
This time pulled away out to deep square leg. 1 more to Scrivens. I think that's the thing with T20 cricket, though, isn't it? You can just have one person who anchors down, scores nicely, and everyone else can just have a little bit of a contribution around her, and you get yourself up to something defendable.
Well, I'm still a firm believer in T20 that someone can have an afternoon
Yeah.
or an evening out and win the game for their side. It happens.
Yeah. Slow ball again from Davison Richards. You know who did have a day of that, talking of Women's T20 World Cup, was Annika Bosch back in the last T20 World Cup. She single-handedly knocked Australia out the competition in the semi-finals. It takes one person. She's not even in South Africa's squad this time, I don't think.
I was there at that match.
Oh, were you now?
I was indeed. I'm now getting the scorecard up to kind of jolt the memory. So that was the semi-finals that England failed to qualify for.
Pulled away this time, backward of square. That should be 4 more to Scrivens. Just starting to accelerate into the back end of this innings. Much needed. 2 boundaries from the over. 17 gone, 120 for 3.
Yeah, and Scrivens here, 76 of 120, 3 overs to go. Well, I always think with Annika Bosch as well there, you're under pressure with that surname as well, aren't you? We've been saying that in the men's game with Middlesex's Bosch every time they go out.
Well, have you entered the Xbox Power Players competition? If you have, You can win one of 4 Xbox Series S consoles if you successfully predict the best batting or bowling performances in the competition. Here is the latest update in front of you. Rhiannon McDonald-Gay still at the top of the women's rankings with her 6 for 11 against Durham last week. Bryony Smith, the leading women's batting standings with her 71 against Lancashire in the opener. In the men's listings, Yusuf Majid's 3 for 42 against Lancashire has him top of the league, but after his unbeaten 51 not out in the London derby on Wednesday night, Ollie Pope is now the top of the batting charts. There you go, easy as that. Very
Easy as
good.
that. Alice Monaghan in for her final over of the day. As the sun comes out here at the Kia Oval, it's just pushed into the offside by Joe Gardner, my old under-15 teammate, Burton Latimer.
Lovely.
National champions. There you go. I found my trophy the other day.
excellent.
The bat's broken off. Just about
Did they
sums
let
up
you
my
bat?
cricketing career. They did, yes.
That's nice.
Well, that's nice. And you won some silverware.
Want some
Even
silverware.
better.
Oh,
Who presented you with your trophy? Do you remember?
I have a picture. Rachel Hayhoe Flint was
Ah,
there,
very
as
good.
was a very young Catherine Siver-Brunt with very bleached hair and a very tan out of a bottle.
Nothing wrong with that.
Goes aerial this time, leg side. It's going to be the first 6 of the day off the bat of Grace Scrivens, who sends herself into the 80s with a maximum.
That has gone absolutely miles. That's gone 10 rows back here at the Oval. Remember, if you take a catch in the stand, you win a grand. And that gentleman there stuck one hand up in the air, but it wasn't enough. Wow, where has that power been all afternoon from Essex? Failed attempt from the man in row 3.
And it's just a single to back it up. Grace Scrivens, this is quite some knock.
It really is. 83 out of 128. And she really did get hold of that. As Cam was saying, that did go about 10 rows back. They're long old boundaries today again. That's soared away for 6.
Clipped aerial this time, going to bisect the 2 fielders. And Joe Gardner has her first boundary of the day.
And that's now 12 off this over. So that's a bit better from an Essex point of view. But they need the last couple of overs to tick along as well. Terry Wogan won the under-15 club championship. And
And who
Terry
presented the
Wogan,
trophy?
Terry Wogan. It was meant to be Harry Seacombe, but he wasn't very well.
Oh, you got an upgrade.
So, well, I was delighted to be given a trophy by him.
Straying down that leg side. That's a good diving effort behind the stumps as well by Kira Chatley to cut it off.
Well, Gardner has done Surrey a solid there. That was a big wide. Just got a bit of glove or arm on the way through.
Full and just dug out by Gardner. Good running to scamper through for a single, get Scrivens back on strike. This is what they need as much of as they can at this point.
Well, they could get themselves up to 150 here. So that would give Surrey something to think about.
As the over comes to a close, so 2 more to come at the moment. 18 gone, 133 for 3.
They're 17 runs away from that at the moment, 150. Gardner is on strike, so Scrivens is up at the non-strikers end. The other thing to keep an eye on here, Scrivens is on 83. So that will be the other thing to keep a little eye on. She wouldn't be human if she wasn't in the back of her head thinking, ooh, T2000, they don't come along very often.
We had a funny game between these two early this year where Essex looked like they posted an under par total.
Clipped aerial, fielder coming in off the boundary, taken. Makes absolutely no mistake, and Gardner's cameo comes to an end.
Yeah, good time for a wicket for Surrey. Again, it's a dot ball, it's a wicket. Scrivens is still stuck at the non-striker's end. Monaghan did well there because she came sprinting in and then realised, actually, I've probably sprinted in a bit too far, so stopped and then took it about waist high. So that's worked out very nicely from a Surrey perspective. One lovely shot from Gardner through the leg side for 4, but now there's 11 deliveries of the innings left. Just got to get Scrivens on strike, really. Look, if you watch Monaghan on the replay, she comes sprinting in and then suddenly realises, oh, I might have overrun this, stops and then takes it waist high, but very safe hands. And it's Monaghan.
Well, Gardner just kind of picked that up. It was a flick of the wrist. He hadn't tried to power that ball anywhere. Oh, what a wonderful photo that Georgie Heath has shown us here in the box.
Oh, isn't that a lovely photo? Georgie getting her medal or the trophy? Or
It's pink, whatever it was. I think it was a
Lovely.
pink T-shirt.
Very nice.
I think I probably still have it.
Very nice.
The only winning cricket trophy I have anywhere. Big swing from Miller, first delivery.
Just put bat on it and leg it. That's literally the job now of Miller. Put a bit of bat on it and get Scrivens on strike.
Dug out this time, scampering through for a single. Direct hit, could have been close, would have been dangerous. But it does bring Scrivens back on strike, and that is the important thing now for Essex.
Yeah, it's turned out all right. I think it would have been out if the throw had hit, but Miller gets through and Scrivens now gets on strike with 9 balls left of the innings.
She's only got 2 to attack here, and then 1 to get herself back on strike for the final over.
McDonald Gay pulls out, starts again, finds that one funny. Unsure, just maybe a little out of rhythm. Back she goes. That's well bowled. Just full and wide, scampering through for 1. Laura Harris just keeps it safe, doesn't bother trying to take on anything attacking, leak any extra runs to allow Scrivens to come back for a second. So now she's at the non-strikers end again. It's an excellent bit of work. Again, Surrey have been so good in the field. This time it's Paige Schofield, another fantastic fielder as part of this Surrey side. Gets a round of applause from Mark Church over to my right. And working in pairs to then get that ball back in.
Yeah, I think if you add it up, they probably saved about 8 runs on those boundary ropes today. Brilliant bit of work from Schofield, that.
Slow ball wide, signalled. I like the intent from McDonald Gay.
I think one of the best parts of Surrey's fielding effort today is it's been a shared workload, as it were. It's not just been the usual suspects, which is McDonald Gay on your screen now. Alice Monaghan did put in a fantastic diving stop where she collided actually with McDonald Gay, but there was Bethan Miles, there's Paige Schofield, Kalia Moore.
Yeah. Laura Harris.
Laura Harris across the team. They're keeping this total below 150.
Waits on this one, just punched out to deep cover, which means that Miller will keep strike for the beginning of the final over. 19 gone. Essex 139 for 4.
Yeah, very good from Surrey in the field again. Just looking at the boundary count now. Scrivens has 10 fours and a 6. And then we've only had 4 other boundaries. McLeod hit a boundary, Heap hit a boundary, Grewcock hit a boundary, Gardner hit a boundary. So it's been all about Grace Scrivens this innings. It really has. She's stuck at the non-strikers end for the start of the final over, but she's batted wonderfully well. She really has. And look, she's almost looked like she's playing a different game to everybody else today. But what Surrey have done very well is they've bowled very tightly at everybody else.
I think they've also bowled pretty tightly at Scrivens after the first over.
Yeah.
Scrivens hasn't got away from them, so to speak. Yeah, she's got on 80 off 60. But pretty close to a runnable from the second over onwards.
This time pulled away, and again there is protection out in the deep to keep it to just a single to start the final over of this Essex innings. Remember, Surrey winning the toss and deciding to have a bowl first. After that first over went for 19, they would have thought, what decision have we made here? But it looks like it's been vindicated since then, with just Grace Scrivens really able to get her teeth into this innings. Use of the free gives herself a bit of room again, just one up to Paige Schofield.
I'd have almost been interested to see if Scrivens would have turned that down. And I'll take the all last 5.
Yep. We're sort of at that stage now,
Yeah.
aren't we?
Aerial. And it just plugs enough that it can be kept inside the ring again. Great anticipation on that bounce. Gets appreciation from Cully and Moore as well.
Oh, more good fielding. You can see the effect that the rain earlier on in the week and yesterday has had there. A week or two ago when it was a bit dry, that would have skipped away to the boundary.
Gives herself room, and she's gone. Shows all 3 stumps, and Clea Moore says, yes please, I'll have those. And Miller's on her way.
Yeah, good bowling from Kalia Moore. Just giving herself a little bit of room, trying to cut that away. And Kalia Moore, the old you miss, I hit. But in danger of Scrivens only facing 1 delivery in the final over. Which is a bit of a waste really from an Essex point of view, but very good from Surrey. And again, Monaghan there. The previous delivery, as you said, Georgie, great anticipation on the shot. Kept it down to 2. And yeah, just showing all of the stumps and hits the top of middle. There's Kalia Moore. So very good from Surrey.
She's having a quietly very competent season this year, Moore. Such an integral part of this Surrey team. You often see her bowling in the power play and now bowling at the death as well. She's such a versatile bowler to be able to have in your ranks. A reliable batter as well.
So Sophia Smale into the attack and gone straight away. 2 in 2 for Kalia Moore. Looks to go on the reverse, and Bale's flying again.
What a hat-trick. We saw this with Rhiannon McDonald-Gay, but I think the other thing here is if you're Scrivens, you'd be livid about this, because it's a pretty obvious thing. She has to be on strike, but Smale there has pulled out the big reverse sweep, missed it completely, gets bowled, and Scrivens isn't going to face the last ball of the innings now.
Well, in the last 3 overs, Scrivens has faced 4 balls.
Yeah, which is,
Yeah.
you know, sort of from a, I think the modern phrase is game management.
Yeah.
From a game management point of view.
Well, it's something we've just been repeating, isn't it? Just get Scrivens on strike. She needs to face as much as she possibly can. And you think about the beginning of the innings when she faced everything, and McLeod at the other end was just sort of, where's my chair? I could pull this out and just watch. Now that's what Scrivens is doing, but final delivery of the innings, and Kalia Moore is on a hat-trick as Amara Carr comes out to the middle. Hat-trick ball, final ball of the innings. And it's a full toss, punched away, beats the diving fielder at extra cover. They'll come back for a second. Going to have to get the skates on, and it will be 2 off the final ball of the innings. So Grace Scrivens is unbeaten at the end of their 20 overs. She finishes 85 from 63, and that's a hell of a knock from the captain, the Essex stalwart. But Surrey will be very pleased with their efforts with the ball and in the field.
Well, Grace Scriven faced the first ball of the innings, but she definitely didn't face the last. A dominating innings from the Essex skipper, well over 50% of the runs, but Surrey will be so pleased with their efforts in the field. Another really impressive fielding effort from across the team. No spectacular catches per se, but loads of diving stops, keeping that total below 145. It's 146 to win for the home team and to make sure that they stay top of this table. Now, courtesy of Kia, we're going to have Mark Ramprakash with Bryony Smith and Rory Burns, Ebony Ravenford Brent with Jamie Smith and Alice Monaghan. And they're going to be having a little cruise round South East London in their car, having a bit of a chat. We've got that for you, I believe, right now.
So as they leave the field, give it up for Surrey. 10 minutes between the innings, after which Surrey will be chasing 146 for victory. If you're looking for food and drink, Indians still plenty available. Bars around the ground open on Nick back in, the Surrey Tavern, the Wanderers and Century Tavern, as well as the Nicholson Gin Bar at the Pavilion End. And in the Pavilion, members have access to most of the Pavilion bars as well. All the food outlets also available around the ground. But if you're staying with us in the bowl, then get those hands ready because our Kia Master Blasters are making their way around with some free t-shirts. So get your hands ready. You could be going home with a free t-shirt. And it's just the first part of our interval entertainment. More of that coming up very shortly. Those Kia Master Blasters currently at the Vauxhall end, making their way around with those Master Blasters.
And what was those club experiences like as well?
Well, apart from the fact I could never score a run in club cricket.
No way! Jamie, Alice, let's go for a little cruise around the local manor. Hey Kia, take me to the Kia Oval. Do you know what? Because obviously I watch you guys play a lot, but I have no clue about like your early journeys, how you got into cricket, why.
Early cricketing, I think it was parents just being me driving them mad, wanting me out of the house. I think nobody in my family played cricket, which is, I guess, a little bit unique. I was at my local cricket club, which was Sutton, but yeah, grew from there.
Come on, Alice, what about you?
Kind of similar actually. I think my brothers played it, and we just played it in the garden really. Yeah, just joined the club, played with the boys, and one of the boys there played for county, so that's how I found out what like county cricket was, or like district cricket. That was the thing back then. So then just joined there, and then went through pathways.
And what was those club experiences like as well?
Well, apart from the fact I could never score a run in club cricket.
No way!
Never score a run.
Really?
Yeah,
Club pitches,
it's too
it's
hard.
a whole different
It's
ballgame.
too hard.
You need the M25, it needs to bounce, right?
It needs to be the oval.
It needs to be the oval, there's no run. What about road trips? Because I guess some of the county games, especially, you guys might have to do a decent... You're not going to drive all the time yourself, will you? So will you go in team buses or as in groups?
Yeah, we get a big team coach that we all get on.
And Alice, you were the first to mention when we got in the car who's playing the tunes.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, are you the DJ?
Me? No, I'm actually not the DJ.
But do you want to be DJ? That's the difference. Some people don't want it at all, and some people do want it.
So where are you?
I do not want it.
You do not want it at all?
No. Gus Atkinson's probably ours.
Is he all over it?
Yeah, he's always putting some music on.
Is this like the best ground in the world?
Yeah, ranks #1. I think as a ground, obviously it's pretty iconic. You know, an incredible thing to experience as a county cricketer, especially of playing in front of full houses and the atmosphere it has. But yeah, it's definitely the best ground you can play at.
All right, Jamie, Alice, thank you so much for taking that incredible drive today. Hopefully we can do it again soon.
Thank you. It was
The sun came out for us today, that's great.
Frying pan. Think I've got a chance.
Golf from the non-golfer.
Interesting. Baseball bat. Baseball bat. Oh, of course you did. That's the one we wanted. Oh, shut up. Oh, into the stands. Hey, that flicked it.
I'm a bit nervous in central London, you know, and I am currently on 9 points, so I've got to be a little bit careful.
Did you tell them that?
No, they don't actually know that. Hey, how
Hello.
are you? Nice to see you.
Thank you.
poking out. All right, Raps.
Yeah, it's great to see you. Looking very athletic in your fabulous Kia tracksuits.
There you go. It's like business class back here.
Rory, I remember when you were a young lad starting out at Surrey. What was your inspiration?
I basically wanted to do what my elder brothers were doing all the time. Yeah, I started playing at 6 for my middle brother's team in the under-10s.
Same for me. My older brother used to play alongside my dad. His team was short one day, so I filled the numbers in and played ever since, really.
Would there be a slightly mixed response with the boys and the men?
I found it was the parents more than the actual boys
really?
playing.
Okay.
You know, their little boy getting out to a girl.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they never quite went down well.
Because we're in this fantastic electric car. I was wondering who's electric in the field, or who's someone that you play with that you think, wow, it just comes quite easy to them.
Probably Phoebe Franklin. She makes everything look very easy.
Certainly with teenagers, I think at schools, they're very keen that although your passion may be cricket, that you enjoy other sports and play multi-directional sports. Rory, I'm pretty sure you were a very good footballer, weren't you? Or I thought you were anyway, but
Well, yeah,
maybe my base is quite low.
I was going to say, yeah. Thanks, Rams. I appreciate that. That's quite a nice footballer.
Get that in the edit.
Yeah, get that in the edit. Sam Curran, I've never seen him do anything wrong as yet, barring his football, which is terrible, so he's probably going against the rest of the question. But yeah, he's one of those people who just seems to pick those moments and really sort of set it alight.
I have just noticed that I couldn't turn left there, so I'm completely flummoxed now. Is that road open? Can I go left?
I think so. Unless we go right and we loop back round.
Well, I did thinking about doing
Well,
a
it's a lovely drive anyway in the Kia.
Well,
so.
do you know what? We are comfortable, aren't we? And I've had my heated seat on, which is fabulous. Rory, Bryony, thank you so much for accompanying me on that journey to the Kia Oval. I really hope you enjoyed the chat. I did, some inspirational stories and content in there, and best of luck for the season.
Thank you.
Cheers, Ramps. Appreciate it. Well driven, mate.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you.
Well, there we are, Mark Ramprakash driving Bryony Smith and Rory Burns around in a Kia car. I tell you what, Georgie, I would like to put Rory Burns and Bryony Smith in a Kia car with me driving.
Well, I was thinking you, me and Cam could go for a little drive around, little drive by. I'll sit in the back.
As long as I don't have to park it, we'll be fine.
Oh, I'm good at parking.
Oh, well, excellent.
I'll do the
You
parking.
do the driving.
Yeah, we'll just swap when it comes to parking.
I would just be so nervous of crashing it. And if it needed a bit of parking, we'd be in all sorts of trouble. Well, break's coming to an end. And as you can see there, Essex 145 for 6 off their 20 overs. Grace Scrivens 85 not out, but in the final 3 overs only saw 4 deliveries. So got stuck up at the non-strikers end. So I think they're below where they would need to be on this pitch, and this is going to be a very interesting run chase because we know how Surrey will go about it. And it's going to be Messrs Smith and Chatley to get Surrey started. And Grace Scrivens leading out the Essex side, but there are Messrs Smith and Chatley. Chatley on the left, Smith on the right.
Yeah, work to be done here for Essex. They need early wickets and just to keep these two openers quiet. We saw how Scrivens came out of the traps that first over going for 19, and we looked like we could be on for a monumental score here. The 180 was talked about at one point, but really slowed down, and a lot of that actually was thanks to some excellent work by Surrey in the field. Really saved themselves, what, we're going to say maybe 12, 15 runs at least of their work diving around in the field, picking up run-outs as well, and just really good game awareness by the home side here, and defending champions, obviously, in the Vitality T20 Blast.
Well, I'll go through the Surrey bowling figures during this first over with you, Georgie, because they are impressive, the Surrey bowling figures, especially with the first over going for 19. They really pulled it back extremely well, and their fielding again was was very good to watch. Real team effort today from Surrey in the field.
So it's going to be Sophie Munro to open the bowling. And just sits up nicely for Bryony Smith, who says, yep, that's perfect, that'll get me off the mark. And both innings have now been opened with a boundary.
Well, Miles, her first over went for 19, came back with another over that only went for 5. McDonald Gay, 1 for 23 off her 4. Monaghan, none for 26 off her 4.
Thought she might have just got away with it there inside the line, but umpire Julia Jarvis' arms go out, and Munro will have to go back again.
Kalia Moore, the pick of the bowlers really, 2 for 19. Danny Gregory, none for 24, and Davison Richards off her 2, 1 for 27. So they're tidy figures and very good in the field as well. Surrey.
Smith has a wild flay at this one outside the off stump, just pushing it that nice wide line that can tempt a batter like Smith to try and carve it through that offside. Meanwhile, at the Test match, things not going England's way. Ben Stokes just been dismissed without scoring, 127 for 6 up in North London. Smith looking to pull it away, had absolutely no idea where that had gone, ends up pirouetting.
I tell you what, I said to you two earlier, I reckon I'll be watching the end of that Test match tomorrow morning.
I think you'd be in the pub by this time tomorrow afternoon.
I think New Zealand will be starting their chase with quite a lot of time tonight. And then we might not even get to lunchtime tomorrow morning.
Yeah, don't get there late.
No.
That's my advice for you. This time full, just dug out by Smith. There's the misfield that mags them a single and bring Chatley on strike for the first time this afternoon. And we were saying this, weren't we? That's exactly what Surrey did so well. Keeping runs to a minimum, excellent work in the field.
I think the other thing that Surrey might have in the back of their minds is the old bonus point as well. Chasing down a lowish score.
Chatley just plays this respectfully. So it's been a good comeback this from Munro. After the first ball got struck for 4, it just sat up. It was a gimme for Bryony Smith to open her account.
Yeah, you feel that Essex are going to need some wickets in this power play.
Big appeal. It was Amara Carr who went up first behind the stumps, but umpire unmoved.
Maybe, just maybe doing a little bit too much, but a very good shout for Essex and Munro. We'll have a look at this on the replay. Leg side.
So the 7 runs coming from the first over of Surrey's chase.
Well, can I just say, I've had forgive me for my one ball tardiness. I had a lovely 4 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Bumped into my current friend, Yaz Rana, our current colleague as well. Picked up some food, some chicken, peppers and spinach.
A bit of couscous.
I just went straight down the line. Keto, I went.
Well done.
Oh, hello.
Not for any reason.
Keto.
And then Yaz was just talking me through his kind of... he's basically given me his job. So I was asking him about his first week in kind of the wilderness, as it were.
Ah, how's the wilderness?
I think it's a lovely place to be.
Yeah.
I think it's all right. So Kate Coppack into the attack. This one just struck all along the carpet by Chatley, who can't get it through the ring.
It's very nice of him to give you his job.
It was very kind of him.
Very good of him, because you were doing all right anyway. Very good of him.
You can never have your fingers in enough pies.
No, I don't.
Honestly.
You've got your finger in a lot of pies.
I should turn down some work on Tuesday.
Oh, all right. Send it my way. Beautifully played. And it beats the diving fielder. She somewhat harbour bridged it. And it's going to be the first runs for Chatley. And it's going to be 4 of them.
Well, we're already seeing the major difference in the first 2 overs, aren't we? A couple of dives from the Essex fielders and the ball gets underneath them. With Surrey, they weren't missing anything like that. And it does make such a difference, because the other thing is it gets Kira Chatley's innings going as well with a boundary. Got to be absolutely tight here of Essex.
This time just skewed backward of square. Will just be 1 more.
Just to say to anybody who, and there aren't many people who don't know Yaz Rana and what Yaz does, but just to say that Yaz wasn't a fireman or a firefighter or anything like that, and gave you that job as well as your cricket.
No, we've done 2 things. He was a firefighter who hosted a podcast.
And he's very kindly given you the podcast.
No, he's giving me the firefighting role. In your spare time, you've got to fill in the...
How do you fit all these things in?
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
He's a very good firefighter.
Mm.
Beautifully played. Straight and aerial by Smith. Not quite enough on it to go to the boundary, and scampering back. It's really good running, putting the pressure on the arm as well.
I like that from Bryony Smith. Okay, she didn't time it perfectly, but there's a lot of the time with Bryony Smith when she, with that delivery, would be looking to haul it over the leg side. But she kept the bat perfectly straight on that occasion.
It's well kept out and it's well bowled as well. Yorker coming in from Kopak.
Yeah, but this is an all right start for Surrey. It's not spectacular, but they're ticking. Going along at, 7s at the moment? It's exactly where they need to be.
Just finding the bottom edge. So it'll be a dot to end the over. 7 runs coming from it. 2 gone, 14 for none.
Pretty steady start for Surrey in their run chase. Looking forward to seeing when Eva Gray is going to have a bowl for Essex. A very canny bowler. Lots of change-ups, lots of variations. Often thinking 1 step ahead of the batter. What have you seen, Mark Church?
Oh, is that not former Surrey opening batter and former Surrey coach Alan Butcher sat watching there? I believe it is. So very good to see Al Butch here today. Got his high energy drink with him there as well. That's good to see.
Electrolytes, very important.
So we are going to have a change in bowler straight away, turning to the spin of Sophia Smale. Chatley immediately uses a bit of innovation with the reverse ramp and easily back for a second.
Just had a note from producer / leader John that Eva Gray was a former colleague of yours.
Yes, indeed. I've done a lot of commentary with Eva. She's very good on the old microphone as well.
Full and just driven by Chatley. Again, can't get it past the fielder at mid-off. Obviously a double header here at the Kia Oval today. You can spot a Hampshire shirt in the background, waiting in anticipation for the men's game later, but in for the women's as well. That's why we love a double header.
Oh, it's a perfect Friday, really.
It is. It's a lovely Friday.
Log off early and get 2 games of cricket in.
Just a little shuffle down the pitch from Chatley, and again can't get it through. So we were here the other week, that beautiful Friday evening, just as the heat wave was kicking off. It was just perfect.
I'd hazard a guess there may be some people who've had 3 games today. Possibly went to Lord's this morning, got the morning session in, then hop across for the women's game and then the men's game in the evening.
Goes aerial this time. First real sign of aggression from Chatley. Not quite middled, so won't find the boundary. And comes back for a second.
I don't. Yes, it's a good batting surface. Yes, I think Essex are under par. But if they can just sneak through this power play without too much damage, we'll have a close game on our hands.
Pulled into the leg side this time, one more to the tally. So Chatley will keep strike for the beginning of the next over. 3 gone, Surrey 19 for none.
Well, of course, in the game that Rhiannon McDonald-Gay took her 6 for 11, that was against Durham, wasn't it? Surrey were chasing only 103.
Of course.
And they were 8 down at the end and made a bit of a Horlicks of the run chase by keeping going, didn't they? They kept being aggressive. And it was Alice Monaghan with 20 not out who was the cool, calm head at the end. But that's the way they'll go about this as well. They'll just look to be aggressive and try and get to that 146 as quick as they can. That is the Surrey way in T20.
So a change of ends for Sophie Munro, going for 6 runs off her first over, the opening over of the innings. Pulled leg side by Chatley. There is protection out at deep square. So just the single. The 2 fielders out of the ring on that leg side.
With one eye on the test match, I think there's not an outside chance that finishes tonight.
Bryony Smith just looking to give herself room and punching this into the offside.
That would be England winning, wouldn't it? If
No,
it finishes
I
tonight,
think it
or
finishes tonight, that's
could
New
New Zealand
Zealand
chase that down? What's the lead now?
Well, the
then?
lead is not that punchy at the moment. The lead is only 150 or so. The lead is 165. Okay. But because they lost the overs yesterday,
they're going to play late.
You've got a minimum of 50 overs still remain in the day.
Straight to the fielder at cover. Bryony Smith looking to try and go aerial, up and over, doesn't get enough, top edge. And Munro has her first wicket, and the first one goes down for Surrey, and it's the captain.
Well, we've seen this blueprint of a game before. You might think that Essex are defending an under par total, and they are. But with some canny seam bowlers in their ranks, we could be in for another thriller. And I want to cast your mind back to when these two teams met earlier this year in the one-day cup competition. It was always left to Priyanaz Chatterjee down the order and the 8th wicket partnership to get Surrey over the line. So Essex will believe they know whatever position they get into, there is a door that could just be ajar. Look at that, as simple a catch as they come for Miller at cover point.
And again, they're going to have Paige Schofield coming out at 3, which she did in the last game. I think that works for Paige Schofield. And she batted very nicely in the last game, made 30 odd. Yeah, it was Ailish Cranston as well, wasn't it? Played a very sensible innings, and that partnership got Surrey across the line against Essex in the 50 over game.
Tipped up in the air. Gonna land safe between mid-off and mid-on. Heart in mouth for a moment there for Paige Schofield, but she gets herself off the mark.
Kira Chatley just signalling to Schofield about a little bit of up and down bounce. Schofield had turned her wrists on that ball a bit early. It was a pretty straight delivery and very, very fortunate to still be at the crease. Essex are in this.
And again, very tidy from Munro, just targeting in at those pads of Kira Chatley.
I've said it with the men's team this season. Yeah, sometimes you have to play what's in front of you. And yes, I love all the go out there and smash it to all parts and try and get there as quick as you can. But sometimes sensible cricket can help.
Full again from Munro, and a very tidy over. 2 runs and a wicket coming from it. 4 gone, 21 for 1.
I have a question for you both.
Ooh.
With the Women's World T20 starting, are you looking forward to the opening ceremony where the music will be provided by the cast of Wicked, the musical?
I have seen Wicked the musical 4 times.
4 times? We're about to be 5.
Yes.
Yes, I just would really like the idea of, you know how you have spider cam goes across on the wire. If we can get an actor, a witch on a wire,
Yep.
then I'm there, and then I'm in.
I want the teams walking out for that opening game to Defying Gravity.
I want the opening game played, one team just painted green. The England team will come out painted, wearing witches' hats.
Be taking it to another level.
Wear a witch's hat instead of a helmet. Bit of everything.
Slightly disappointed it wasn't Starlight Express, but you can't have everything.
So Eva Gray into the attack, and this is driven straight, and it's a good bit of work coming round to cut it off.
You aware of that work, young Cameron? Starlight Express on roller skates?
Can't say I'm afraid.
I tell you what we'll do, you and I, when it comes back again, because they'll bring it back, they always do.
Yeah.
I'll take you to see Starlight Express.
Lovely.
It's one of the great musicals. But the only reason I mentioned that was in the Adelphi many years ago, which of course is where Wicked is now.
There you go. Pulled this time into the leg side again. Just be one more to the total, ticking along.
It's got to be better than Ricky Martin with the
that-
closing ceremony of the men's. That was a strange old pick.
It was different. I'll give you that.
When was that?
When was
March?
the March, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
March.
The T20
Old
World Cup.
Ricky
the
in his
T20
tight
ranking
trousers,
idiot. Yep.
giving
Ricky,
it Vida de Vida Loca.
Quite right.
Yeah.
How could I forget?
This time punched into the offside, can't get it through the ring. If you could have anyone perform at a sports event, you say you're at the final and you get the halftime show and whatever, who do you want?
Question.
Who are you going for?
I'd have Mark Church.
Christopher. That'd be a lovely touch, wouldn't it?
Who did you say, sorry?
Christopher.
I don't know who that is.
No, I know. It's one for the older listener.
Again, Schofield not quite timed, and she'll add one more to the tally.
Oh, Christopher, you should have said Christopher.
That's what I did say.
Singer, songwriter, and musician,
Yeah.
known for such hits as Missing You,
Yeah.
1988. Married to Diane Davison,
Mm-hmm.
1977. So famously celebrating their 50th anniversary
Yeah.
next year. Congratulations
There you
to
go.
them.
See, I don't know who that is. A very muted appeal. For a moment, Gray thought about it, but straying down that leg side, she's stepped across as well as Chatley.
It's good this from Gray. Nice start. Tidy start. Good cricketer, Eva Gray.
So who are you picking, Cam?
Can I have your answer first, please?
Yeah. After this ball. Again, looks to pull this leg side, and a bit more of an appeal this time. Yes, finger goes up. Took her time, did the umpire. And that'll be a second wicket down now for Surrey, and Essex are definitely in this.
Well, I thought it was a pretty good shout at the time. I haven't seen an umpire move off to the left, almost to get a different angle on the decision, and then give the batter out. Kira Chatley would have been pretty safe in assuming that she'd been saved there, deemed not out. But Essex have a second wicket. Kira Chatley has to go.
That is the first time I have ever seen that. Is an umpire moving as the batter. That is horrendous, because the finger didn't go up and the umpire was stood behind the stumps, and then umpires moved to her left and then put the finger up. So
I think it's a pretty good
I think
shout.
it's a good shout, but I've not seen this before. I haven't seen that. I've never seen that before. And Kira Chatley would have thought, I've got away with this, but I think it's out. I think when you see the replay, I think Eva Gray was a bit confused there as well, but the right decision. But I can't say I've ever seen the ump do that before. But yeah, look, Kira Chatley's got the shock of her life there as well. But it looked a pretty good shout.
Well, Sophie Munro. Oh, a third over. Goodness me. Up and over. Will it go all the way? No. A few bounces might not even make the rope. Just about trickles over the boundary. It's an action-packed start here at the Kia Oval. Run rate required. Keep an eye on that, because that, even with that boundary, is creeping up towards 8 and over. And when you get out of the power play with sweepers on the fence, it can be hard to keep things going. Sweetly timed, however, from Schofield. We interrupted your choice.
Oh, just keep you all waiting.
Did you give us yours?
I'm feeling self-conscious.
Why?
Well, I I'm going for Mr. Worldwide himself,
Lovely.
Pitbull, and I would then have
Who?
everyone. Oh, exactly. I would then have everyone turn up in bald caps. I actually went to see Pitbull, and it is just a sea of everyone dressing in bald caps, and it's quite something.
What genre of music is that?
That's a good
classical?
question. That's a very
Classical?
good question.
Classical music.
Yes, very classical.
Mr. Worldwide.
Good.
So that would be my choice, I
Good.
think.
I'm trying to. I think there's a different answer between kind of my favourite musician.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and
me
what
too.
the event.
Right. You're bold.
Brilliantly bold by Monroe.
You know, I think the world of you in every sense.
Sometimes.
But are you looking a little bit too deeply into this question?
I
at the
think I am,
moment?
but
I think you are.
I'm trawling through the database
Yeah.
of musicians.
It is. It's who's going to put on a good show. You know, you can't. You couldn't go wrong with someone like Shakira.
Oh, goodness me.
But she's too busy at the Football World Cup.
Shot. Brilliant shot from Spence. Had a look at one. Decided she'd seen enough and skipped down the track. Her impressive season continues. You're reminded about Shakira. Shakira could be up there.
Yeah, but I do think she is performing at the football. Not sure we could quite convince her to pop over for the cricket, but you never know. What about Gaga? She puts on a good show.
There was an artist that performed with Shakira who I'm going to want to nominate, but I can't remember his name. But I remember I used to love him, so I'm going to vote
Was it
for
Enrique
him.
Iglesias?
It's not him.
Oh, shame.
Just dropped into the offside. One ball left of this power play.
But of course, in the first couple of years of T20, we had Liberty X and Atomic Kitten.
Yes.
Yeah, the first year was Atomic Kitten, but they played in the interval between the first semi-final and the final.
Atomic Kitten.
Well, producer / leader John in the back of the box is throwing together some fantastic suggestions. First of all, we went for Mark Butcher
Oh yeah, go on.
Ah, very good.
with a guitar in hand. He's now gone for Girls Aloud.
Yep, take that.
Power play done here at the Kia Oval.
I'd happily
Surrey
take an
34 for 2.
I'd happily take an S Club 7 S Club reunion. Although I did go and see their reunion tour and it was a bit just made me feel very old.
Busted. I could have
Yes.
a bit of busted.
Oh, actually, do you know what? I quite like them.
First music gig I ever went to, and then I cried for about a week afterwards because it was over.
I quite like them. Didn't they form up with another group?
McFly.
Weren't they called
McBusted.
McBusted? Yeah, clever that.
Mm.
That marketing meeting must have taken hours
Well,
to
they
come up
couldn't
with that name, I would have thought.
They couldn't call them Buffly, could they?
Well, it might have made a difference. Certainly brought a different audience in. Well, all I can remember is there were only 2 people watching Atomic Kitten on stage on that first finals day, and it was 2 of the Surrey players playing in the final because everyone else had gone off to get their dinner. But those 2, they were right at the front.
Smale to continue. And Spence goes for the reverse sweep straight away. He plays that shot so well. This is a run chase that's made for Spence. Run rate not out of reach by any means. It's inverted commas only 8, but it's going to require some innovation, some proactive batting. Well, we've already seen about 5 different shots from her from in the 5 balls she's faced. Schofield goes to the reverse dot ball on this occasion. Has to make sure she gets back as well.
Yeah, nice couple of reverses, but I wonder whether the conventional reverse might be a better option here if it's on the right line. There you go.
Slog sweep all the way. Sounded sweet off the bat and beats Miller on the rope. 6 runs.
That made a hell of a crunch off the bat, didn't it? It sort of sounded like 6 straight away. For a moment, Miller would have thought, perhaps I'm in here, but just kept watching it, saw. And that's exactly what they want. You don't want to get bogged down, and they're keeping an eye on that run rate.
Just took the air out of that one. Smale, a bit more flight and good running from Spence. She gets back for 2.
Yeah, great running. Very, very good. We didn't see much of that from Essex. And that was really good running, but I like that from Schofield. Tried the reverse, didn't work, so goes down slog sweep on the angle.
Down the track, an inside edge scuttles out to the deep. Over at Lords, it's Surrey's Jamie Smith and Gus Atkinson manning the force in the middle, making sure that things are just slightly getting back to normality. They shared a partnership of 27. Beautiful. 4 runs from Spence. This has been a good over for Surrey. And you can hear through the headphones Georgie Heath's selection for her opening act. We saw the reverse sweep from Jemima Spence. We've now seen the conventional. 2 boundaries in the over. Surrey 48 for 2 after 7.
Take it, this is Pitbull.
That was Pitbull, yeah. I'll bring you a ball cap next time, Churchy.
Thanks very much.
Problem is, mine is not made for skin that's seen as much sun as ours. So it's a very different. So Cam might have to wear my ball cap, and we might have to get another one.
Well, that was very nice from Pitbull there.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Mr. Worldwide.
I thought those two played that over very well. Tried a couple of reverses, get it with the left armour coming around the wicket, but actually on that angle, that conventional and slog sweep, paying real dividends for them.
Well, we're going to see a bit of leg spin. Jodie Grucock, whose innings was cut short with a quite catastrophic mix-up in the middle with Grace Scrivens. Well, this will be an important part in this game. Leg spin always brings the opportunity for wickets and runs. Heaved out into the leg side, and that's out. As easy as that. The change works immediately. 1 ball for Grucock, 1 wicket. It's Florence Miller in the deep who does the catching. And Schofield's enterprising innings, 17 off 11, comes to an end. The game continues to be in the balance. Georgie Heath.
Yeah, you can see Paige Schofield. She's just trying to continue in that attacking manner, and it was almost, well, it was right on cue. You said it either brings runs or it brings wickets straight away. Just didn't get under it. She's very disappointed with herself. You can see the head shake there. Schofield, she's a powerful hitter, but didn't quite get the elevation this time. Grucock into the attack, strikes straight away.
Well, Alice more than useful Monaghan is walking out to the crease.
Like this. Cool, calm head.
And I've got some stats for you, Mark Church. We just see a replay. It's a pretty clean strike of the ball from Schofield, but finds the fielder. Monaghan has been unbeaten in 3 of her 4 innings this year in the competition. She's got scores of 29 not out, 20 not out, 21 and 20 not out. So a picture of consistency. But it is a promotion up with the order. She's been down as low as 8 this innings. And Miller's just done herself a bit of a mischief taking that catch. So I wonder what the thinking behind this promotion is.
Cool, calm head, I would have thought.
Monaghan to face her first ball. Ooh. It's a big full toss. That'll settle the nose. I imagine both you saw Emilio Gay's first ball in Test cricket yesterday.
That's the sort of ball you dream of, isn't it? Nice full toss outside your off stump.
The sense of relief that must have coursed through his veins afterwards. Yeah, Monaghan averaging 90 with the bat this competition. Spence goes for the reverse, finds short third.
The impression I get with Alice Monaghan is nothing phases her. She never looks worried about a situation. She'll play at her tempo. Deserves this promotion.
Swept out into the leg side. Now, it must be peculiar batting as Jemima Spence, because both the sweep and the reverse sweep are definitely the reverse, at almost all occasions, the regular sweep as well. Premeditated shots. You've kind of decided what you're going to do before you ever bowled a ball. Now scamper through for a quick single. Good over for Essex so far. 1 to come. Just as 3 runs and that wicket off the first ball.
So just keeping an eye on the run rate here at the moment as well. Going at just over 6.5, and that required rate pushing up now at 7.81.
Lifted out into the deep, finds the gap, 4 runs. More sweeping from Jemima Spence. We've seen the regular sweep, we've seen the reverse, now we've seen the slog sweep. Out in front of square. And it brings a boundary. 55 for 3 here at the Kia Oval after 8 overs. And this match continues to just teeter in the balance mark, Church.
Yeah, it does, and it always does when Surrey are batting, because it's always entertaining. But Spencer's got a number of sweeps in her bag, hasn't she, to pull out. And there she's gone with the slog sweep. Couple of bounces and away for 4. Boundary off the last ball of the over as well, which is always a nice way to get out the over.
Could nickname her Cinderella, because she likes sweeping.
Very good. Yes, well, in the men's game, I used Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins.
Oh, yeah,
there we go.
Yes, he was an excellent sweeper.
Well, Eva Gray returns to the attack once again from the pavilion end. She has the 1 wicket from her 1 over. This will be a good little period of the game for Essex. Leg spin from one end, a wicket-taking threat, and then the control of Eva Gray from the other. Well, it's a good start. Beats the outside edge of Monaghan, and sharp work behind the stumps as well from Amara Carr.
From memory.
Oh, yeah?
In the 50-over game, Kopak went to the short ball, didn't
Yes, she did.
2 hook shots caught out at deep backward square. It was excellent cricket, that, from Essex.
Well, that's a late pull-out from Monaghan. Eva Gray almost into her action. It was, from memory as well,
break, wasn't it?
It was also kind of last roll of the dice stuff.
Yes, it was.
It
but
was,
it
well,
worked.
Game's gone. Let's just see what happens.
It worked,
I
didn't
can't
it?
quite remember who the 2 batters were who found fielders in the deep. This is when your book comes into its own, Churchy.
Absolutely. My computer.
Another swing and a miss. Good stuff from Essex. They had a difficult start to life in Tier 1 last year. But they've been in fine form in the Blast this year. 3 wins out of 4. A win will take them to the top of the table as things stand. That's short. Pulled into the deep, and it will be cut off. Smale does the work.
Well, interestingly, they also had Lauren Winfield Hill on loan a lot of last season, because Yorkshire were down in Tier 2 with the understanding that they knew they were already going to move up to Tier 1 the next year. So Lauren Winfield Hill was on loan at Essex a lot last year, and she obviously, we know what she can do up the top of the order. But they did still struggle at times.
Goes to ramp. Oof. Spence. Another ball, another shot. I feel like sometimes she just has so many ideas in her head. You see how Alistair Cook kind of made a living out of having 2 shots. Jemima Spence is going to make a living out of having 20.
It's like your 2 mates on a night out.
Oh, yeah.
The contrast, one of them turns 20, one has 2.
Just the 1 run off this over so far. Oh, Spence heaves that. Goodness me. Would have been spectacular. Direct hit at the non-striker's end. An all-action ball of cricket. Liberty Heap, I believe, at mid-wicket. We'll see this on the replay.
I actually think this should have been taken. Yes, it was hit quite hard, but she didn't really have to move too far, maybe diving a bit to the left, but still got both hands there. And this could be the difference. We saw what Surrey could do in the field. Barely made a mistake. Right, look at this further up the game as well with the England women as well.
Just the single to end the over. So whilst there was that dropped catch, just 3 runs off the over. Look at that run rate required. 8 and over for Surrey. They're already 3 wickets down, and they have the enigmatic, I don't know if that's the right word.
It's a great word, though.
Very good word.
Laura Harris to come.
They do, and I think actually she's sort of been going up the order, hasn't she, Laura Harris? I think she's better sort of middle order. I really do. and sort of have a platform there for her to go crazy, because that's what she does, isn't it, with her whack bat. She comes out and smashes it. So, but I do like this Monaghan coming out at 5. I think she deserves a promotion. As you say, she's averaging 90 in the competition so far this season, and she does get more impressive each game.
Well, the skipper has turned to herself here. Scrivens, who's having a very good tournament with the ball, must be said, brings herself into the attack and starts with a Yorker. I don't think it was an attempted Yorker. I think it was just a ball that slipped out and was a bit too full. Just goes for 1 run.
She's one of those bowlers that just sort of has that golden arm, Grace Scrivens. Don't necessarily think, oh yeah, she's going to be our big wicket taker.
Goes for the reverse, gets it over short third, and that will be 4.
Yeah, Liberty Heap there, almost caught in 2 minds. She thought at first she was in the right kind of position for a catch, so was coming forward, as you do, you're walking in with the bowler, as we've all known our whole lives, and then just found herself a little too far in. For a moment, thought about sticking the arm up, and then has to turn and run, and by that point, the ball's racing away.
More good batting from Spence. Now goes to the little lap. That's the 21st shot we've seen from Jemima Spence, and another boundary. It really is remarkable batting. 24 off 13 and almost not a single shot in anger. We haven't seen any kind of, well, one display of power. She got the slog sweep out, but otherwise she's racing along through an exhibition of touch and kind of class behind the wicket. More pitbull plays, and Georgie Heath nods her head in kind of, I don't know, agreement, contentedness. That's short, and even there, Jemima Spence gets down on 1 knee and shovels the ball into the leg side.
She's such a natural player as well, that's the thing. She's just naturally talented, and she picks her moments, she really does, but she just ticks along.
Appeal for LBW, not given. I didn't mind it as a shout. Monaghan has stepped across her stumps. Scrivens is doing her best to bowl wicket to wicket. This is the kind of tightrope that Essex are walking on, because just those 2 boundaries from Spence has seen the run rate required drop down to 7.5.
Well, they're above where they would need to be at the end of this over on the old Duckworth-Lewis, which is always a good indicator, isn't it? They would have needed to have been on 68 at the end of this over.
Lifted out into the gap. Brilliant fielding. Superb work from Gardner in the deep, and saves her team a couple. And those runs could well be crucial when it all comes out in the wash later. At the halfway point of Surrey's run chase, Surrey are 71 for 3, 75 still to win. And I feel like for the 5th over in a row, I'm going to say we're in for a thriller.
Yeah, we are, I think, and that was great work from Gardner. They probably need a bit more of that, don't they, Essex, now? That's a great piece of work, it really is. And yep, I'm going to say it now. What do I always say in these tight games? Yes, tie.
Tie for dinner.
Tie for dinner. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. Pitbull. Why pitbull? Does it look
good.
like a pitbull? Or?
I'm unsure why he's called Pitbull.
Ah.
That's a good question. But he's just Mr. Worldwide.
He's become a bit of an icon
He
for
has.
our generation.
Has he? Has
Yeah.
he? Lovely. Like Christopher for mine.
Yes, exactly the same.
Mm.
Right, Grucock starts her second. A little Fuller this time, just finds that outside edge. And it's just a single.
Yes, this is going to be tight, I think.
Spence going along nicely though, 27 from 15, showing us the full range, the whole handbook. And this time goes reverse, goes aerial, 3 fielders in pursuit. And it's going to be the ball who wins the race. 4 more to Spence.
Just such confidence. That's the other thing. And she doesn't often miss hit. and she's got so many different types of sweep shot. So she's got an aerial there, but square of the wicket with the reverse. We've seen her dink one over short third. We've seen her dink one over the keeper. Seen conventional slog sweep. She's got a number in her bag. She really has. But this is a great innings so far. 31 from 16 from Jemima Spence. These two have put on 28 since they came together.
Yeah, now 70 needed from 58. This time dances down to the pitch of the ball and clipped away just into the leg side. They're looking to come back for a second and deciding not to take on the arm of... Who is that coming in off the boundary there? Lost a hat on the way.
Can't see from this distance. My eyesight's...
There's a lot of ponytails. Ariel this time. Has she got a hold of it? Oh, and it's put down again. This time it's Gardner who put in that excellent dive to save the boundary just in that previous over. And it's parried.
I think she got lost where the rope was. I think she didn't realise she was getting so close to the rope. I think she's taken this and then realised, oh, I'm going to hit the rope, and has actually ended up knocking it over the boundary rope for 6.
It's a great angle of it there. Split through her hands.
Given that extra bit of flight again, and Monaghan just punches this into the offside. So already 12 from this over now, and still one to come from Grewcock. And it'll be a dot to close out the over. So 11 gone, 83 for 3. 63 now needed from 54, Mark Church.
Yeah, and they're sort of ahead of where they would want to be at the moment. As I say, Duckworth Lewis is always a very good indicator. So they're 3 runs ahead of where they would want to be to chase this down. And yeah, Monaghan a little bit of luck there. As I say, I think Gardner suddenly realised, oh, if I step back, I'm going to go over the rope, and that's probably what put her off. And in the end, she ended up knocking it over the boundary rope for 6. And it went straight through her hands. Monaghan got a fair amount of that on the slog sweep on that occasion. But yeah, good punchy partnership from these two. 35 it's worth. But yes, on Duckworth Lewis, Surrey are way ahead of where they would want to be, because at the end of this over on Duckworth Lewis, they'd need to be on 80. And they're already on 83, so that's always a good indicator.
So Kopak is back into the attack. Just the 7 runs from her 1 over so far. 11 gone, 83 for 3. Desperately hunting down a wicket here. Full toss, just clipped away and gets a hand to it. Really good work. And they'll come back for a second. Again, good running from these 2 Surrey batters in the middle. Great awareness.
And we didn't see any of that really during the Essex innings, did we? Hammer the first. Doesn't try and hit that too hard as well, Spence. Good bit of batting. Full toss and didn't try and smash it. Just worked it and came back for the second.
This time all along the carpet through the offside. And you sort of wonder as well, because Surrey are so strong in the field, does that reputation then also work in their favour, that you sort of as a batter can subconsciously be tentative of trying to take on the second?
Yeah, definitely. And I think I'll go back to Monaghan and Donald Gay. You know, if you've got those 2 sweeping up, you're not taking on their arm.
No.
You're not going to take their arm. If you do, you're going to lose, because they both got such strong arms. So yeah, absolutely it does.
Has she kept the foot behind? Just wise signalled by the umpire.
Lovely bit of keeping though, wasn't it? From Amara Carr behind the stumps. Quick as a flash those bails were off, but Monaghan to get that back foot rooted behind the crease. So here we saw Kopak go towards the short ball in the 50 over game. Oh, Oh, shot.
That is beautiful. Weights on it and just crunched through point.
Well, these two are making life look very easy indeed. It was a difficult little run chase when these two came together at the crease. Alice Monaghan promoted to number 5. And they've put on the best part of 50 runs. Well, the partnership was 43 at the current moment in time.
Well, I mentioned this earlier. She is a very good cricketer.
More than useful.
More than useful. With the ball, with the bat, and in the field. And again, she's walked out here at number 5, very cool, very calm. No great fuss.
Pushed wide this time by Kopak, but reaches for it just to add another single to the tally.
Well, Essex need to be a little bit careful here, because we were talking from overs kind of 5 to 10 about how in the balance the game is and was. A couple more overs of these two, and the game will be done and dusted.
Yeah.
We keep on talking about that run rate required. It's now at 6.5. It's pretty much a run a ball. 54 needed off 50.
That's well stopped. It's hit hard. And it's saved one. And at this point in the game, every run is crucial.
Well, the best compliment you can give these two is they look like they've been playing T20 for the last 10 years, the way they're going about this.
Yeah.
And they're both pretty early in their careers, really, if you think about it. And they are just doing this very nicely at the moment.
Final ball of the 12th. Aerial lands just short of point. So 12 gone, 92 for 3. 54 now needed from 48.
Yes, and I think Grace Scribbins needs someone here to take a wicket. Because as Cameron so rightly says, another couple of overs of these two and Surrey will be not there, but it'll look at a pretty straightforward equation for them. So where does Grace Scribbins go here? She needs a wicket.
Going back to Sophia Smale, it looks like. So the left arm spinner back into the attack. Flighted full toss, gets away with one to start the over. Another player out there that was part of that inaugural Women's Under-19 World Cup. A fair few of them in this Essex side.
I think from an Essex perspective now, it's all about desperation with everything now in the field, sweeping on those cover and mid-wicket boundary ropes.
There it is on the reverse aerial and over 3 fielders. Again, the race between fielders and ball, and it's the ball who wins.
It's brilliant batting. It really is again from Spence. You know, she's gone deliberately over the top of the covers. And what I love about her is she learns so quickly. Because we saw her attempt the reverse against Smale and she hit the backward point. Now she's reversing and going up and over the top.
But she also seems to move so early. She's just waiting.
She's just a natural talent. Everything she does is natural.
This time gets through the hands of Smale. So one more to the tally.
What is it they always say? The really good players always seem to have that little bit of extra time. And she's definitely got that. I know she's playing spin at the moment, but she gives herself that little bit of extra time.
Brings up the 50 partnership between Monaghan and Spence. And then just a little dink from Monaghan. Anything you can do, I can do too.
I'll be fascinated to see what happens for Spence if and when over time, as she developed, she adds a bit more power to her game, because she's so strong at that reverse sweep. I wouldn't be surprised as teams have to start having deep backward point out to her at all times.
This time just crunched up to mid-off. And it'll be a dot to end the over. 13 gone, 99 for 3.
And naturally in the women's game anyway, you are only allowed 4 outside the ring, or 4 on the boundary, let alone 5 that you have in the men's game. And if one fielder has to be positioned at kind of a deep third, a deep backward point, Spence will effectively be playing with 1 fewer boundary rider in front of her for the entirety of her career.
Yes.
And if she's able to access both straight boundaries through power and the boundaries behind her through touch, well, it's a pretty, it's a combination that would be quite desirable.
She is one of the best I've seen at this age in terms of being able to manipulate fields and learn so quick. As I say, she doesn't often hit a fielder twice. So she's a huge talent. She really is. And this has been a lovely partnership from these two so far.
So Eva Gray back into the attack for her third, 1 for 6 from her first 2 overs. Charges down the pitch, and she's gone. Gray back into the attack and immediately has an impact.
Well, Monaghan falls for fewer than 20 for the first time in this competition. And yes, you'd have loved to have been there at the end and made sure that this match was sorted, but she's kind of done the role that Surrey would have liked her to do. She's forced this game along. Her and Jemima Spence putting on 50 at a time when Surrey were in a little bit of trouble. But the door does just open ever so slightly again for Essex. Eva Gray, her figures, 2 for 6 after 2.1, fantastic. And now we have the great variable of the match. Laura Harris comes to the crease. Does this mean that the match is going to be over in a couple of fell swoops, or do Essex have the chance to go 2 quick wickets?
It's interesting. I would rather have Laura Harris walking in at this point with, 47 needed, than her walking out with 110 needed. I think that's her game. I think this is her game now. She's got a platform, still got some wickets behind her. She can just come out and play now. But Monaghan there, as you say, Cam, she's sort of done her job, really. It's just run past the straight one there, and it was lovely work from Carr behind the stumps. But here is Laura Harris with the whack bat.
She gets a big cheer from the crowd that is slowly growing as the afternoon extends. So 47 to win. Spence still at the other end, 40 from 24, looking in beautiful touch. As cover comes back up inside the ring, long off and long on, out and 2 out on the deep on the leg side. Harris goes up and over, straight down the throat of long off, who drops it. Well, 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 we talked so much about how good Surrey's fielding was, and Essex are letting themselves down in the field here.
Kate Kopak down there. Should have taken that, really. And what a wicket that would have been. But there's Laura Harris. You see, first ball, looking to go over long off.
This time crunched into the offside.
It's a really poor drop. It's as close to a fielding catch or kind of a training catch that you can hope for. You'll see the coaches with the boom bats, the foam bats, lobbing catches up over and over and over, and guarantee Kopak will take that close to 100 times out of 100 in training. At the crucial time, it's gone down.
Just saying as well, Eva Gray here, great figures. Should have 3 now.
Yeah. Spence goes leg side, finds the gap. And again, there's the misfield. Doesn't quite cost the boundary, but a bit lackadaisical in the field, just sort of getting one hand down to it, not quite getting a body behind the ball.
Do you know, it's the one thing since the women's game went professional that at times disappoints me, is the fielding at times is still, and that is the one thing that should be spot on every game.
Tries something a little bit different again to Spence, and for once it doesn't pay off.
And you see it with Surrey. Surrey have kept themselves in games because their fielding's been brilliant. But actually, it should be. That is the one thing that practice. And still at times you see things that you think, well, and there's been a bit of that today from Essex.
Crunched, almost takes out Laura Harris. Instead adds one more to the tally to bring the 14th over to a close. Surrey, 105 for 4. And that's a talking point that was actually part of the England change over the last few years, the introduction of new coach and everything. That World Cup over in the UAE, England lost games because they were abysmal in the field at times.
Yeah, and as I say, it's that is the one thing. And the other thing I'd say on that is if you drop one early, it can go around the whole team. It can. And we've seen a couple today that, should be taken, really. And we've seen some missed fields as well. So I think that would be one area that Essex would be very disappointed with today is their fielding and their out cricket at times. And in tight games, that is normally the difference, really, isn't it?
Yeah. We've talked about it for years and years, just how good the Australians are in the field. And yes, there's so many other aspects of their game that have been so dominant, but fielding something, yes, if you're not a good cricketer, you might not be good at batting, you might not be good at bowling, you can always work on your fielding. And to be I think it's a real flex to be known as one of the best fielders around.
Especially
because
in the
that
modern
shows
game.
time.
In the modern game as well.
So Munro starts her final over. And it's not quite where she was intending to hit it, but she'll take 4. Spence moves on to 47.
Gem of an innings again, this from Jemima Spence. It really is. 50 from her in the last game, which was her first T20, and I think we said at the time, well, it's the first of quite a few. Well, she's now 3 away from another one.
It's the first time we've almost seen her actually responding to the ball that's been bowled to her. It's a phrase people talk about. She's almost a bowler-independent batter. Doesn't really matter what the bowler is going to bowl at her. She's made her mind up. She's hitting gaps. She's playing the field in front of her, let alone not so much the ball.
Straight down the ground. A beautiful looking stroke again. It won't make the boundary.
One of my favourite Beyonce songs, that.
Bowler Independent.
Yeah, brilliant song. Very, very good.
Very fine song. I always thought when Beyonce wrote that album about cricket, it would really give a
I was surprised. I was surprised. We didn't know she was such a big fan, did we?
She was there at the opening ceremony of the Blast, I remember, in 2003.
I was left arm, didn't she?
How old were you in 2003, Cam?
12.
7 turning 8, I love you.
Oh, dear.
Harris, somewhat agricultural with that hack.
I really want... She hasn't really exploded with the bat yet, Laura Harris, and I really want her to. I want to see her bat for, I don't know, 6 overs, because it'd be spectacular. Oh, my Lord.
That one slipped out, and that's going to be a no ball. Well, she's nearly been decapitated there.
She's done quite well to avoid that, actually, Laura Harris. Yeah, can't afford to bowl another one of those now, I'm right.
So, free hit for Laura Harris. Could this be the moment, Churchy?
Well, sometimes, normally they're quite anticlimactic.
Oh, yeah, it's when the bowler whips out their best
ball. You wonder
ball.
with Laura Harris.
Slower ball. So just pulled aerially into the leg side down to deep square leg, and again, pretty anti-climax.
It's just 35 off 33 required. And without wanting to labour the point, you can see the difference between the impact of the two teams' fielding efforts. Surrey have probably saved themselves 10 or 12 runs. You had those on, it's 47 to win off 33. Different game.
Shot.
Beautiful. That's how to play it, and that is how to bring up your half century for Spence. She's played a fine, fine knock. Surrey were in trouble a little bit earlier on, and she's just pulled out all the tricks in the book and then crunches one to bring up her half century.
Yeah, great innings again. Got a 50 in the last game. Backs that up with another one. Very, very talented player.
I don't know how much more we can really say about Jemima Spence this year. She impresses every time she's been at the crease. She's already got herself a deal in the 100, but I think a stat worth noting. So she's averaging in the 40s, but her strike rate's in the mid 130s. She's such an efficient cricketer.
Let's go back and do that one again. Now the extras creeping in for Monroe.
It is a really good description from Cam about the sort of, I made a bit of a joke about it with Beyonce, but the independent batter, she does. She manipulates the field to where she wants fielders, and she knows where all the gaps are in the field. So she's not actually playing the bowler at all, really.
Gone. Bowled out. She has an extra delivery. And finally, Essex see the back of Spence. But the damage has been done.
Yeah, lovely innings. Nice bit of bowling. Put it right up there on the bootstraps, trying to work that through the leg side. But it's been a terrific innings, that, from Spence. It really has. 52 off 30.
I've just realised who's going to be walking out at number 7. Alice Davidson Richards.
It's not a bad person to have coming in at number. I quite like this batting order from Surrey. It's changed a lot through these T20 games, but I quite like the balance of this. I like the fact that Laura Harris has come in with just 47 needed, and then Spence has gone for 52. Monaghan came in, cool, calm head, and they put on that partnership, and now you've got the most experienced strolling out there with just 29 required. So I quite like this batting order for Surrey.
Well, I was about to say, with that wicket, that Essex can kind of just see a way back into the game, because Laura Harris she's going to win the game in the next 10 balls, or she'll be out. And if she does fall, then all of a sudden Surrey is 6 down. You're thinking, crikey, is that actually still a kind of tricky little chase to navigate at the end? But actually, with Alice Davidson Richards coming out, you're having the grown-up still. Grown-up is in the room now, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just hold everyone's hand, make sure you get home safely.
Yep.
You've still got McDonald Gay, still got Kalia Moore to come. Then when you get to Bethan Miles and Danny Gregory, maybe. But that's 3 overs away. And Surrey, they're in a strong position.
They are in a very strong position, and that's why I like this batting lineup.
Right, Harris on strike. And Kopak back into the attack. And goes for a delicate little dab and gets it through as well. 4 runs. And you can hear the school kids on their school trip out appreciating that one. I still never really understand why Harris, given her ability to hit the ball 100 yards in one direction, goes for touch in the other.
The interesting thing is, though, she's timed that beautifully.
She really has.
She hasn't tried to whack that. She's just helped it, and it has sped away to the boundary rope.
It was almost a spectacular bit of fielding at fine leg, but if you're being particularly harsh, you could say it's another instance where it could have been 4, it could have been a dot. Well bowled by Kopak. Just 25 runs to win now, still 5 wickets in hand.
It's not over yet.
Goes to reverse, appeals for LBW. Nothing doing from the umpire. I believe that's how she got out in the last match.
Not convinced by that shot for Laura Harris. Really not convinced.
She doesn't look comfortable playing it, does she? It's ugly.
She doesn't get down. Her knees don't. It sort of hits her up on the thigh guard.
And she ends up with her knees together. It almost looks like the sort of I need the bathroom kind of position she ends up in.
I think she's better doing that.
Slapped.
That'll do.
Through the offside. What's the problem?
Yeah, well, this is what I mean with her. I think she's better off doing that. I really do.
Well, sometimes simple problems require simple solutions.
They do. And that was just right. Throw my front leg outside the leg stump, smash it.
And that total creeps ever closer. Just 21 to win now for Surrey. 4 balls from this over that Harris has faced. 2 have found their way to the boundary.
Oof.
Should land safe and does. Will they come back for 2? No.
It's so entertaining when she's batting.
It's all action.
It really is. And you're never quite sure what you're going to get. But again, I think having Alice Davison-Richards there, it just gives her licence. Laura Harris. And as I say, with a smaller target, I think this is the ideal time for her to be coming in. She's walked out there with a platform.
It's a beautiful shot to start her innings. Just rocking back and punching that along the floor. Up to long on. So Alice Davidson-Richards is off the mark. 16 overs gone here at the Kia Oval. Surrey 127 for 5. Just the 19 runs to win. Surrey should be home at this stage.
Yeah, they should be. And I think if and when they get there, they always have a player of the match, don't they? I think it'd probably be Jemima Spence. But actually, do you know what? I'd be tempted, if you were allowed to give it to the whole team in the field, because I think that will be the difference between these two sides today. I think Surrey's fielding's won them this game. But I don't know, you can't really do that, can you? You can't sort of give the player of the match to the entire side because of the way they fielded.
Unit.
Yeah.
But I think it's a point worth making in terms of kind of the T20 cricket is where you have the biggest impact of your fielding because the scores are the lowest.
Absolutely.
So if you're able to save 10 runs in the field, saving 10 runs in the field makes more of a difference if you're playing a game where 150 is par versus 250.
Definitely.
And you combine that on both sides of the ledger. If there's 20 runs that are kind of shoved in one team's favour, well, that's a 1 run and over.
Well,
the difference between a 7 over
absolutely.
run chase and 8 one.
You know, rather than chasing 146, Surrey could have been chasing 165, really, with the runs they saved.
Well, an action-packed dot ball there.
It always is when Laura Harris is on strike.
We've got fielders out in the deep, from deep square leg all the way around to long off. It's a pretty simple game. Smell's going to lob the ball up on a length and ask Laura Harris to clear the boundary. Harris rejects the initial invitation, gives herself room and slams the ball through the offside. She moves on to 17. She's such a powerful cricketer. She gets Surrey 4 runs closer to a 4th win of the competition.
Hit that very hard. Absolutely smashed that through the covers off the back foot.
Swing and a miss.
It's when she tries to play a delicate shot, isn't it? She gets herself into a bit of trouble and she just smashes it.
Lifted.
There you go.
High. And far. And for 6. Dropped in the stands. That gentleman just saw £1,000 slip through his grasp. There's no shame in putting that down. That's gone a very, very long way. I gave Grace Trims a bit too much credit earlier today, saying it had gone 10 rows back. I think it has gone about 5. That one really did go back 10 rows back.
Well, that's the previous delivery. I was talking about playing a delicate shot. That you couldn't describe that as a delicate shot, but boy, it's effective. That's a horrible drop in the crowd.
Goodness me, she swept that incredibly powerfully. Jodie Grucock's done well to somehow stop that, because on the second bounce, the bit of spin that's on the ball as well.
And that's hit her right on the inside of the knee as well. Oh, that'll be painful.
7 to win. I tell you what, I'd love to get sometimes the county championship and whatever do these social media bits where they time the amount of time it takes to go from the bats to the boundary.
Ah, yeah.
And often it's kind of it's spectacularly quick. Sometimes you'll see that 6 again, sometimes under 2 seconds. This gentleman had a lot more than 2 seconds to think about that.
He won't want to see that again, will he?
And he will see it again. That's the bad thing for him.
Well, it'll probably do the rounds, I would have thought, because he had plenty of time. He was the only person that he didn't have to move. Just had to stand up and watch. Oh no. Oh no.
Look at the forlorn faces surrounding him. He had so much space, so much time.
He was spending the £1,000.
I think that's
he
an
had enough
unnecessary
time
gesture
to
of
start
kindness.
spending the £1,000. He'd already thought about some shrubs for the back garden, hadn't he? Maybe a new TV.
Well,
nice holiday. Oh, and then he's put it down.
What would you do with your £1,000 if you won the Kia Oval couch?
What would I do with my £1,000? I'd take you to see Starlight Express and get us the best seats in the house, and then take you for a nice meal afterwards.
Oh, yeah. I think I'd just go on holiday by myself.
that's sociable of you.
Down the leg side, that'll be a wide.
But good performances from Surrey. Again, I do like this batting order, because Harris has been able... OK, she was dropped first ball, but suddenly she's 24 from 15. She's got a platform when she walked out there, and Surrey just needs 6 more to win.
Tickled round the corner, but tickled powerfully. 4 runs, another boundary to Laura Harris, who's now out of nowhere's on 28 off 16.
Well, I think this is her high score so far in the T20 for Surrey. And I don't think it's any great surprise, really. All set up by the partnership between Spence and Monaghan. And this is going to be a very good win for Surrey against a very good Essex side as well.
2 to win. Harris at the striker's end. Goes for this reverse again. Misses it again. I've seen that collection of events quite a lot over the last couple of weeks.
She'd be better just launching that into the stand.
She plays with a smile on her face.
Joe, she's great to watch.
Down the leg side, behind square again. This could be the win for Surrey. Harris settles for 1. I'll tell you what, there was time for a second and maybe even a third there.
I think she thought it was going for 4.
And Alice Davison-Richards is giving 1,000 miles stare, admittedly with a smile on her face, down to her teammate going, all right, then I'll do it, fine.
That's always embarrassing, isn't it, when you hit it and you think that's going, you jog the first and then
Yeah.
you think, oh no.
I think it's my, it's the one thing that really grates me is when you see a batter walk the first half of a single and then have to start jogging.
Yes.
1 to win. Davison-Richards on strike. Just the one fielder out on the boundary at deep mid-wicket. Eva Gray, ball in hand. ADR goes for the scoop, gets it. 4 runs and Surrey win. Their 4th victory of the competition this year, and a convincing one.
Yeah, it's magnificent that from the defending champions, isn't it? Well, it was a phenomenal knock in the middle there by Spence, who really guided them into a comfortable position. Essex, they started so well, that very first over, and then things just slowed down on the back end. Surrey were great in the field, managed to keep them down to something pretty easy to chase in the end, and they've done it in pretty good timing, inside 18 overs as well.
Yeah, very good performance from Surrey. I think we'd all be in agreement that, you know, the fielding's the difference between the two sides. But lovely innings from Jemima Spence. Thought Alice Monaghan did her job very nicely, and then Laura Harris finishes 29 not out, and as you said, the grown-up in the room finishes the game. I like that batting order, and I don't think they should tinker with it anymore. I think they should stick with that order that they had today. Yeah, there might be games where they need to bump someone up the order or something, but I think they should stick to that, because that looks the perfect balance to me, that batting order now.
I think balance is the right word there, because it's not necessarily a 1 through 7 of the best batters in the team. It's kind of a structure of you have a go now. We can look after any mess that you may or may not create, and if you go well, then fantastic. We'll keep that momentum going.
Absolutely.
But Surrey's momentum in this competition continues as well. It's not a bonus point victory. They would have had to chase down Essex's total within 15.5 overs for that to be the case. But the reigning champions will stay top of the table. 4 wins from their 6 matches, 1 tie 101 loss as well. The men will take on Hampshire. Well, when do they kick off this afternoon?
6:30.
6:30. So
6:30
about an hour and a half until that starts. And the two happiest people, I think, in many dressing rooms across the land, walk off together, having seen Surrey home. Georgie, it's been a fairly, I don't want to say routine, but comfortable victory for Surrey.
Yeah, they'll be very happy with that one. They were tested very briefly, you would say, and they've come back fighting, and it's good to see that this side has, well, if you're a Surrey fan, they've got such great depth. Obviously, they lose players to international, but they've got such depth coming through that they can put that on display. Someone like Spence, 52, and then opening up the top, and then Harris just coming in down the back end. As you say, it's a great batting order that you can go so deep with this batting lineup, and got someone like Alice Davis and Richards coming in so late in the innings. Laura Harris given the opportunity, not quite the firepower yet that we might see, but I think she's probably going to have a look at some of those reverses and think, you know what, maybe that's not my game.
Still finished 29 not out of 18 balls. Jemima Spence, the star of the show for Surrey, with 52 off 31, her second half century.